Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to this afternoon's broadcast of high school baseball here on WCMP. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman here for this doubleheader between the Pine City Dragons and the Braham Bombers. And leading it off with a hit was Eli Belden for Braham, number 32. So he'll be on first. Check over on first, but he's back in time, diving rather. Now at the plate for the Braham Bombers is Caleb Schusted. He'll be playing that shortstop position today, and he's going to lay down a bunt down the third base line, and it rolls foul. So that was close. The man at third for Pine City is going to be Eli Blotz, and he overran it a little bit, but it might have been on purpose because that ball was drifting foul, and right at the last moment it hit foul. So luckily here for the Pine City Dragons, they will avoid the advancing bunt from Caleb Schusted. That was the best bunt you could have asked for if you're the Braham Bombers right now. Beautiful bunt laid down, but just foul, and they'll do it again. Another bunt, this one heading right towards the first baseman. Throw to first is in time for out number one, but the runner advances to second, so Eli Belden at second now with one down. And now coming to the plate for the Braham Bombers is going to be Dalton Bengstead. He'll be wearing number 99 today. Playing at second. Stepping into the right-handed batter's box. Starting on the mound today for the Pine City Dragons is going to be Isaiah Haas, who again next spring will be playing college baseball. Here's the windup in the pitch. That is in there for strike one. Coming in just under the letters and coming in hot. So one out and a runner on second. Looks like they're going to keep a close eye on him, but Haas is going to throw this one a little bit high for ball one. That evens the count at 1-1. And it's Dalton Bankston at the plate now for the Braham Bombers. Haas with the pitch. Swung on and missed by Bankston, and that'll give Haas a 1-2 advantage on the pitch count, Here's the pitch. And it's swung on and missed by Dalton Bankston. So he'll go down swimming for out number two. And the Braham Bombers trying to get something going after that initial base hit. Now coming to the plate is Jake Tepley. He'll be pitching for these Braham Bombers here today. Batting in the cleanup spot for the Braham Bombers. Here's the pitch from Haas. Swung on and missed. Swung right through it. And Haas is a very strong pitcher, but he's also a very strong hitter. Probably one of the more better power hitters out there. We'll see him get to bat through today, but starting on the mound, and here's the pitch. That's in there for strike two. 0-2 count now for Jake Tepley. He's behind. And, I mean, it's hard to work on Haas here. He has got a arm behind him, and he's really able to kind of get that pitch going, and that one's going to be in there, but for a ball. So 1-2 count now for Jake Tepley. 2 outs and a runner on in scoring position, but again, those 2 outs quickly coming the way of the Bombers. Swing and a miss by Jake Tepley. So Isaiah Haas allows the leadoff batter to get on first, but it's 3 straight outs, and 2 of them due to strikeout, and we'll now head to the bottom of the first inning, and it will be the Dragons' turn to bat, and we'll see what they can do here in the first inning. The last time we called a game here in Pine City, they played against East Central, and, things got going early and often for them in that one. But I don't expect that to be the same story here this afternoon for the Pine City Dragons. Of course, Pine City having a very good season. One of the top teams in their section, one of the top 3 teams in their section, in fact. And as we near the end of the regular season, we're getting closer and closer to the postseason. And every game matters no matter what. But when you're this close to the playoffs, you usually are playing a few more conference teams and section teams, and now every game means that much more once you get to this part of the season. So they're going to be trying to do everything that they can. Of course, there is if you go to our website, we do have a golf card, which is on sale right now. It is $100 for 18 holes of golf and a cart at each of the 4 courses that are on the cart or a part of the cart. And those cards, or those courses, are Bull Rush Golf Course in Rush City, Stones Throw Golf Course in Malacca, the Spring Brook Golf Course in Mora, and of course the Pine City Country Club here in Pine City. There are only a limited number, so be sure to get on over to our website. Again, go to WCMP Radio/deals. You can find the golf card right there. Again, it's $100. It's a nearly $200 value. Yours for $100. There is a limited amount, so be sure to get yours while you can. It is good throughout the entire golf season, and it expires at the end of the 2023 golf season. It's good for one 18-hole round of golf, with a cart for one person, and or 9 hole rounds at Pine City Country Club on the same day. I'm struggling today. I promise we'll get better. Leading off for the Dragons is Mason Charles, playing over in right field today. He swings on the first pitch and misses. Again, it's Jake Tepley on the rubber to start the day for the Bombers. So 0-1 count now to Mason Charles. Tepley wastes no time. That one's going to be there for strike 2. Thought that one might be just inside, but he squeezed it within the strike zone, and it's now 0-2 count here for Mason Charles. Tepley with the windup and the pitch. Swung on a little bit low, but it's a pop-up out to shallow right, but it is under and caught by the second baseman, which is going to be today. Is going to be Dalton Bankston. He gets under it for out number 1. Leadoff batter down, and that will send Bryce Erickson to the line, to the batter's box. Left-handed batter. Here's the windup and the pitch from Tepley. Letter high for ball 1. So ball 1 here to Tepley, or for Erickson. Ooh, that one's in there a little bit below the knees for strike 1. That one maybe just a tad low, but it's in there for strike 1. So 1-1 count now for Bryce Erickson. And Jake Tepley moving pretty fast here on the mound so far. That one's going to be in there at the knees for strike 2. Tepley knows where he wants to locate these pitches so far, and so far so good. Last time he popped one up, and here's the pitch. It's an off-speed pitch. And Erickson a little bit in front of that one, but got a piece of it, fouled it off. So Erickson did a good job to at least make contact with that one, and Tepley came back with an off-speed there, looking to strike him out, but here he'll give another off-speed. That one's going to get by the catcher. Count now 2-2, even. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Dragons with 1 out, nobody on, and Bryce Erickson with a 2-2 count. That one's going to start high, stay high, and now it's run the count full at 3-2. Bryce Erickson being patient up there at the plate. Doing a pretty good job at being patient after a good start, and about kind of a check swing on that one, right to the shortstop, and out at first. That was a close play at first, but the throw just beat him. And 2 down now for the Dragons, as coming to the plate is going to be the pitcher Isaiah Haas. And again, he knows how to show off that power that he's got. We'll see if he can get anything behind it here in his first at-bat. Of course, he allowed a hit in that first inning and then struck out 2 and got another one out to begin the first. And Tepley with the pitch. Swung on, first pitch swinging, and that one's going to get by the third baseman. I think he got just the tip of his glove on it, slowed it down enough, but couldn't slow it down enough to grab it and throw it to first. So Isaiah Haas is on with a base hit. So each pitcher has so far allowed a hit here in the first inning, and the Dragons will now try and capitalize on that as Nick Plajek in the cleanup spot. He'll play shortstop today. Runner on first, 2 down. Tepley with the pitch. Going to be low for ball 1. And I'm sure if you're the Dragons right now, one of the biggest things if you're Plajek is just trying to stay patient up there, locating your pitch, finding it, and driving it. Try and advance these runners. If not, try and score Haas right off the get-go. That one's going to be high and stay high for ball 2. 2-0 count now for Nick Plajic. And again, for Pine City, do early damage. And then we've seen them be able to get hot on 2 outs, and their bats get rolling from there. So we'll see if they're able to do that here. Runner going from first decides to stop and stay at first. So Haas went for the steal, then stopped and returned. And that's just give credit to the catcher there. And the catcher today is going to be Tucker Gould. Nice job by him. I believe it's a 3-0 count now for Nick Plajic. That one's going to be in there for strike 1. So 3-1 count now. Nick Plajic, red light there on that 3-1 count. Or now is it 3-2? I cannot see. Still blind. Still blind. It didn't get better from the winter season, folks. But he gets a hold of this one out to center field. It's over the center fielder's head. And that should send home Isaiah Haas. The throw is going to be in, but not in time. And Isaiah Haas is going to score as that one gets over the center fielder's head. And Nick Plajic with an RBI double. Center fielder sadly misplayed that one just a little bit. He got up on it, and it just kept on carrying over him for an RBI double. And now at the plate is going to be Riley Cummings. He's playing out in center field today. He swings on the first pitch right back at the pitcher. Is going to get through the infield and get into shallow outfield for an RBI single for Riley Cummings. Nick Plajic hauling you-know-what to get home from second. So back-to-back RBIs for the Dragons, and they're up 2-0. And again, the bats have gotten hot on 2 outs. And now to the plate is going to be Elliot Blotz. That one's in there for strike 1 to Blotz. In that game against East Central that we called, he had 2 ground-out RBIs. Very interesting. A little bit of off-speed there, and that one's going to be low for ball 1. So 1-1 count now for Blotz as the Dragons 2 out, runner on first, and they've had 2 runs come across the plate. Tepley with the pitch. Going to be low, and it's going to get just by the catcher enough to where Cummings is able to glide into second. Give credit, though, to the catcher, Gould. He did a good job of keeping that ball around him. That one could have easily ran all the way to the backstop. Tepley with the pitch. That one high and high inside, and you can hear his teammates telling him, hey, take one. Take one for the team. Go to first. Of course, you want him to be safe, so don't recommend that. But he watches that one. It goes by for ball 4, and they'll have 2 outs and 2 on, will the Dragons. And now to the plate is going to be Aiden Palmer playing over there at first today for Pine City. Again, this is the first game of this doubleheader. It'll be 2 5-inning games. Jake Tepley. Low for ball 1, and there's a ball on the field right now. Looks like it may have come from the JV field. Yeah, it did. It came from the JV field. So the runners advanced to second and third on the pass ball, but a ball came onto the field from the JV field, so it could have been really bad. That pitch is in there to Palmer for strike 1. Yeah, that was a weird thing that happened. All of a sudden, the pitch got by the catcher a little bit, and I seen a ball over at first. I was like, did the ball really get over there? But no, it was a ball from the JV field. As now Palmer gets a piece of this one, fouls it straight back over the fence. Just the wrong way. Get it the other way, and we'll be talking about a 5-0 lead. But Tepley here trying to get out of this jam. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Here's the windup and the pitch to Palmer. That's low, and that is going to get by the catcher. It's going to be a play at the plate. Got him! Riley Cummings could not get under the tag, and the pass ball does not lead to any kind of other runs scoring for Pine City. So Braham gets their 3rd out on some aggressive base running, trying to get home after the pitch got by the catcher Gould, but he was able to hold them hold the runners from scoring, as he did a good job locating the ball as soon as it got underneath him. Give it right back to the pitcher, Tepley, and he got the tag for the out at home. We're done with one here in this 2-game, 5-inning doubleheader. We'll take a short commercial break, and then when we come back, we will be ready for that second inning of play here in Pine City. Of course, you're listening to baseball, high school baseball, on WCMP.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
When you need an AC or furnace tune-up, Dale's Heating and Appliance is always clutch. Need financing on a new AC or furnace system? Dale's Heating and Appliance in Pine City is your closer. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Avoid costly repairs on your AC or heating system by getting a tune-up from Dale's Heating and Appliance. Dale's is your hometown cooling and heating expert, servicing Pine City and surrounding areas. Visit Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com today. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM AM 1350, and it's Logan Laniz at the plate playing left field today for Braham. We're in number 6. Here's the pitch from Isaiah Haas in there at the knees for strike one. Braham wearing their gray pants with their blue, gray, and black camo tops, the gold letters and numbers. Swing and a miss there from Laniz. He'll be down 0-2. Pine City wearing the gray pants as well with their green jerseys with a little bit of almost like scratch marks or cut-off lines on their jerseys in black and white. And Laniz gets a piece of this one to the shortstop. The throw on to first going to be picked up by Palmer for out number 1. That throw was a little bit short of Palmer, but he was able to scoop it in time for out number 1. Nice scoop there by Aiden Palmer to grab out number 1. Laniz, that one looked like it might be an infield single with his speed, but just nice scoop by Aiden Palmer. So down 1 already are the Bombers, and now Brennan Lee at the plate. He'll be the DH today for Braham. In there for strike 1 from Isaiah Haas. Continuing on with the Dragons, what they're wearing. Not that it really matters, but just so you guys can get a picture in your minds if you're listening on the radio. Black letters and numbers outlined in white for them today, and I think Lee got a piece, just a piece, of that one. But the count does now run 0-2. 0-2 for Brennan Lee, and Haas had 2 strikeouts there in the first. Looking for his third here with Lee, but 0-2, we've seen a lot of good swings from the Bombers on 0-2 counts already. Ooh, that one's just a little bit off the mark for ball 1. The catcher today for Pine City is going to be Ethan Agard, and man, he framed that one well, but just not enough. Haas, he'll get that one in there, and he'll get Lee looking for out number 2. Safe to say that Haas may have been a little bit upset that last pitch wasn't called a strike. He fired that one home for strike 3. So 2 down now, and coming to the plate, it's going to be Isaac Oquist. Excuse me, he is not the, Brennan Lee was not the DH. I apologize. That's going to be Oquist, who is the DH here. Brennan Lee is playing over at third, and Oquist is the DH. Now that we've got that figured out, Oquist at the plate. And here's the pitch. In there for strike 1. 0-2. 0-2 is the count. I missed a pitch. Moving too fast for me, apparently. That one's high. Ball 1. 1-2 is, or 2-1 is now the count, for Pete's sake. I had it right the first time. Wow. It's the heat, I tell you. Getting too hot, I guess. Here's the pitch from Haas. Swung on and missed. And that will be out number 3. So 1, 2, 3. Go the Braham Bombers here in the top of the second inning. 2 strikeouts, 2 more for Isaiah Haas, and the Dragons will make their way back into the dugout and look to get their bats going once again. They got 2 runs across in that first inning. The Braham Bombers, though, did a good job on a pass ball to get them, the Dragons, out, trying to slide home. So can the Bombers, it started out pretty well for them. It looked like they were going to go 1, 2, 3, but then again, the Dragon bats got hot again with 2 down. And we've seen it before, and even in previous years calling Pine City baseball. This team, as I was saying, in years previous, we've seen it. Down 2, we've seen this Pine City team just get red hot with their bats with 2 outs. I don't know what it is. Is it momentum? Is it just, the will, the want? Is it, do they got something in their bats? And I mean, something in their bats as in magic, not anything else. So let's not think about that. Could have worded that, I guess, a little bit differently, maybe. I promise you they don't have anything in their bats. Maybe fairy dust. That's about it. Dragons getting set to go back out there to the plate, and starting this at-bat is going to be Aiden Palmer. Of course, he wasn't able to finish his at-bat due to the fact that, again, there was a pass ball, and the Dragons tried to get home from third, but Riley Cummings was unable to get in under the tag of Jake Tepley. Again, their catcher, Tucker Gould, did a great job of locating the ball and getting it back to Tepley at the plate for out number 3. This ball is going to be low. It's going to get by Gould, but won't matter because it's the first batter here in the bottom of the second inning. So 1-0 count. One's going to be in there for strike 1 from Tepley, so now a 1-1 count for Aiden Palmer. Here's the pitch. Low, it's going to get by Tucker Gould. So 2-1 count now for Palmer. That one is swung on and deep shot to left center. Center fielder's there and under it for out number 1. He got that one just right, but the center fielder is under it for Braham, and the center fielder, Logan Leniz, gets under it for out number 1. Now coming to the plate for the Dragons is going to be Ethan Agard. Here's the pitch from Tepley. It's high and stays high for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and hit just over the shortstop and into the outfield. Oh, it rolls over the center fielder's glove. And thinking about going 2, but the center fielder gets to it in plenty of time. So he'll hold the runner Agard at first, but Agard, beautiful spot for that ball. And a base hit for the Dragons with 1 out. That'll send Luke Wilson to the plate now. Luke Wilson, the number 9 batter, they will have batted through the order in just an inning and a third. That one's in there for strike 1, and the catcher Gould getting ready for Agard to see if he'll steal. I mean, he stood up almost before that pitch even got there. He was ready. Tepley keeping an eye on the runner at first. He'll throw over, but the runner will stay, and then the throw back to Tepley's just off the mark. He's able to run to it in time, but that's a spot where you get a lot of anxiety as that ball kind of missed his glove. He had to run after it, and Agard, being aware, just realizing, hey, I can go about a quarter of the way here. That one's going to be fouled off by Wilson. Over the Braham dugout. 1 out, 1 on for Pine City. Tepley ready's the pitch. Here's the windup, and the throw home is low for ball. Again, they are keeping a watchful eye over there on first on Agard. They expect him to steal, and he'll quickly throw this one over the plate, but it's going to be low for ball 3. Full count now for Luke Wilson, 3-2. Tepley with the pitch. It's going to be low for ball 4, and Gold was ready to throw Agard out at second, but because it's a ball 4, it doesn't matter. They get the base free. Back to the top of the order with Mason Charles now coming to the plate for Pine City. 1 down and 2 runners on. Play really at any plate now, though, for Braham, except for home, obviously, but that one's going to be swung on and hit out to left field. The left fielder backing up is under it in time for out number 2. Nice job there by the left fielder, Logan Laniz. Oh, my goodness, I said Logan Laniz was the center fielder. That's not. It's Lucas Shue, who is the center fielder. Laniz is the left fielder. So Lucas Shue had a great catch out there in center field to begin the inning, and now it's Logan Laniz with this catch for out number 2. So still 2 on. And now 2 down, as it is Bryce Erickson to the plate. That one's well high, and great job there by Gould to nab that one before it goes over his head into the backstop, and that would have given the runners on base plenty of time to advance. This one's going to be outside for ball 2. So 2-0 count here for Erickson. 2 runners on and 2 runners out. Pitch is inside for ball 3. Erickson gets out of the way just a little bit, and it's not that it was super close, but close enough to where you just want to back out of the way just a little bit. That one might have clipped him a little bit. I couldn't tell, but it's going to be ball 4 no matter what, and that sends to the plate Isaiah Haas. And if there's a guy you don't want coming to the plate with bases loaded, it's probably Haas or Plajic. Those two very, very good hitters and have a lot of power. And before Haas comes to the plate, we're going to get a mound visit here for Tepley. And while they do that, we'll take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Baseball here on WCMP.
Name dropping. Huh, who does that anymore? John Deere, Toro, Gravely, Aaron's, all the top names are available and on site at Minnesota Equipment. Whether it's time to upgrade your zero-turn, walk-behind mower, or small utility tractor, the experienced team at Minnesota Equipment can put you in the machine that fits your needs. And the sale is just the start of the relationship at Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Kettle River Pizza, the handcrafted pizza made locally in Ascove, Minnesota. Always the highest quality ingredients. Pizza that is consistently great tasting. A true crowd pleaser. 16 varieties to choose from. Enjoy the classics like pepperoni, pepperoni sausage and supreme, to the unique tastes of hot Hawaiian, taco, buffalo chicken, and chicken Alfredo. Pick some up at your local grocer, tavern, or convenience store. Handcrafted Kettle River Pizza. Moms and basketball players approved.
Bases loaded for Isaiah Haas. Tepley still on the mound. Here's the windup in the pitch. Right outside for ball 1. Ball 1 to Isaiah Haas. Again, power hitter for the Dragons in that number 3 spot. 2 out, bases loaded. Tepley fires that one in there for strike 1. 1-1 the count for Isaiah Haas, and one thing for Haas is he's going to be very selective at about what he swings at. Very smart baseball player. That one's low in the dirt, and Gould keeps it in front of him. You know, Gould has done a very good job back there at the catcher spot. He is very twitchy, but in the best way possible, because he is so quick with his movements, but he's so for sure about where he's going with his movements that the ball rarely has a chance to get by. Haas puts that one up in the air, and the center fielder is going to have time to get under it for the catch and out. Number 3. So Haas got the power on it, but it hung up just a little too long, and the center fielder, Lucas Shue, able to get under it for out number 3. So the Dragons will stray on 3 and will not add any more to their total here in the second inning. But we now move to the 3rd inning of this 2-game, 5-inning doubleheader here in Pine City. This one moving along quickly. The Dragons hold a 2-0 lead over the Braham Bombers. Of course, we'll take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Baseball here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350 WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
Ethan Game, Nick Gilman with you here, and of course you're listening to Baseball on WCMP. Don't forget, we got a golf card on our website. It is a golf card worth almost $200 for yours at $100. You can get 18 holes of golf and a cart at each of the 4 locations on there. The 4 locations are Bull Rush Golf Course in Rush City, the Stones Throw Golf Course in Malacca, Spring Brook Golf Course in Mora, and of course the Pine City Country Club here in Pine City. It is not valid for tournament play or league play, though, and does expire at the end of the 2023 golf season. Top of the third, and first pitch swinging is the Braham Bomber, and he's going to reach Lucas Shue. I think we'll count that one an error there on third baseman. That's a tough one. That one was coming in hot for Elliot Blotz, and he got his glove on it, but just couldn't field it. Goes over his glove, and it's going to be I don't know if that'd be an E5 or not, but it's going to be, we'll call it an E5 as Lucas Shue will reach. Now Tucker Gould at the plate. First pitch is going to be just high. Well, it looks like it might be Lee. So Brennan Lee? I say it says Lee on the back of his jersey, but it's 16, which is Gould on here. I don't know. Ooh, they try to pick the runner off at first. Shue, and they're going to say he is back in time. So Shue just back in time. The Dragons didn't agree. It was close. Haas will test him again, and he says, all right, you got the call in your favor once, but the next time I'm going to get you. Haas making sure to keep a close eye over on the runner at first, and I'm guessing they're expecting him to try and steal. Looks like Gould got a piece of that one. Again, it's Lee on the back of his jersey, so if it is Lee, I apologize, but I'm going to stick with what the lineup card says, and that's Gould. Lineup says Gould, so that's what we'll stick with. That one's in there for ball 4. So Gould will walk, and 2 runners on with nobody out to begin the 3rd inning for Braham. Coming back to the top of the order now, it's Eli Belden. Belden get a piece of this one, and it will be fouled off over the Braham dugout. Swung and just got a piece of it. That time was Belden. So 0-2 count here for Eli Belden. And checking his swing that time was Belden. That one is just high for ball 1. So 1-2 count here for Belden. That one is in there for strike 3, and Belden will go down looking. It's now 5 strikeouts today for Isaiah Haas. Now 1 down and still 2 on as Caleb Schusted comes to the plate. They are keeping a close eye over there on Lucas Shue as he just dives back into second in time, but they're going to keep their eye on him. So without throwing a pitch to Schusted, they check on the runner at second. Haas with the pitch in there for strike 1 to Schusted. One count now to Caleb Schusted. Haas readies. Throw. Over the plate for strike 2. So 0-2 count now for Caleb Schusted. 1 down, 2 on. It was Eli Belden who went down looking. Haas. In there for strike 3, and Schusted will go down looking. 6 strikeouts here for Isaiah Haas. He's got 2 in each inning. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and now 2 in the third. 2 on, 2 out. Now for Dalton Bankston. First pitch in there high for ball 1 from Isaiah Haas. Dragons lead this game 2-0 here in the top of the third. Haas with the pitch. Swung on and missed. Even up the count at 1-1 for Dalton Bankston. Haas, that one's going to be just high for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Two-on count now for Haas for Bankston, as Bankston will swing and miss on that one from Haas, and now it's a 2-2 count. Haas sets, here's the pitch. And just high at the letters for ball number 3. Full count for Bankston. Haas with the payoff pitch. That was going to be popped up and out of play. So everybody's going to have to return to their base, and Bankston will look to do it again. Instead, look to put this one in play. If that one instead of going backward, goes forwards, man, that's a pretty good base hit. Sends home 1 for sure. That one's going to be low, and Bankston, I don't know if he knew exactly how many or what his count was. I think he was looking for another pitch, but he will move on to first. So a walk here loads the bases with 2 out, and now it sends to the plate Jake Tepley. Going to get maybe a courtesy runner, I thought. Yes. Gould will have a courtesy runner over there at second. And it looks to be number 11, Ben White. So Ben White will be the courtesy runner at second for Braham. And Jake Tepley at the line, bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's the wind-up and the pitch from Haas. It's going to be inside for ball 1. Pitcher versus pitcher here. Haas and Tepley. Haas has 6 strikeouts and gets this one past him. Nice play by the second baseman. Throws it on to first in time for out number 3. Tepley got a piece of it, and the play by the second baseman. That was a tough play over there at second, but Aiden Palmer, it's Luke Wilson, did a great job getting that one off the hop, getting it over to first. And, he didn't rifle that one over to first either. He didn't try and do anything crazy, spectacular. He just threw it on to first the best way he knew how, without having to rifle it over there. He knew that he had plenty of time to get it over there. That's just a smart play by Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson, give him a bunch of credit on that one. Is he made the good play off the hop and also the smart play as to getting it over there in time without rushing it. So the Tigers will strand 3, and now it's still 2-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. Dragons lead over the Braham Bombers. Also, if you're looking to tell more people about your business, if you feel like you would like to expand your reach just a little bit, you can contact our advertising team, as we would love to work with you. Well, they would. I'm not part of the advertising team, but I work in the same company they do. But they would love to work with you and help you reach more, not only customers, but more of the community as well. They do a great job. They are so customer-oriented. Is our sales team, our advertising team, and they love to work with you. They want to work with you and make sure you're getting exactly what you want. Of course, when you do work with us, you're reaching a bunch of new people, because last year our games here on YouTube were nearly 100,000 times here on YouTube. So you know you're getting a pretty broad reach when you're able to advertise with us. So if you are a business or you know people who are looking to maybe reach some more people, you can go ahead and contact our advertising team by emailing wcmp@q-mediagroup.com. Again, that's wcmp@q-mediagroup.com. Bottom of the third, leading off is Nick Plajek. Jake Tepley with the windup and the pitch. High for ball 1. Tucker Gould does a really good job of framing that ball. He's done a good job here today. He's had a lot of work there at the catcher spot, but he's done a good job helping out his pitcher any way he can. That one's going to bounce into the glove of Gould, and then it will now move to a 2-0 count for Nick Plajek. That's going to be ball 3 to Nick Plajek, and I'm sure Tepley will come back with something to try and get Plajek swinging. That one's in there for strike 1, and Plajek, red light on that one. Usually when you got a 3-0 count, usually that's prime time to not swing at anything. As Jake Tepley will deliver the 3-1. And he'll get a piece of that one with Plajek, and he'll be into first easily with a base hit. So Plajek, patient up there, waiting for his pitch, nails it on the 3-1, and reaches base safely to begin the bottom of the third. And now stepping up to the plate is going to be Riley Cummings. Nobody out and a runner on. Bottom of the third, Dragons lead 2-0. Here's the pitch from Tepley. In there for strike 1. A 1 count for Cummings. Tepley keeping a watchful eye on the runner at first. Here's the pitch. Going to be high and off the mark, and Gould, that one is going to get away from him just a little bit. It got into his glove and then bounced right out. The unkind bounce from his glove, and Nick Plajek is in second safely. Tepley gets Cummings swinging on that one. Out of a different half-hearted swing. He wanted to swing, but then he didn't want to, and he was already too late. So 2-2 now the count for Cummings. Runner on second in scoring position, and nobody out. Tepley with the pitch. It's going to be low for ball 2. Oh, no, 3-2, excuse me. Full count. I must just be looking off in the distance and missing some of these pitches because, man, is it gorgeous out today. That's going to be low for ball 4 to Riley Cummings. So runners on, first and second, nobody out. And Elliot Blotz to the plate now. Again, a couple weeks ago when we did our first game of the season, Blotz got a couple RBI groundouts. Tepley He's allowed some hits, but, man, he's done a good job today of making sure it doesn't get too out of hand. That one's going to go well over the head of the catcher. That will easily advance the runners to second and third. One of the rare times that Tepley has missed high like that. He's missed to the outside and low, but that's one of the rare times he has missed high like that. So Blotz with a 1-0 count now. That one's going to be in there for strike one. Nice comeback pitch there for Tepley. When you get a ball that goes that high over and you advance runners into scoring position, always nice to come back with a strike like that. Be a 1-1 count, and here's the pitch. It's going to be high for ball 2, I thought. Three 3-1 count now for Elliot Blotz. And this will be interesting to see what would happen if they were to get the bases loaded for the Dragons. Tepley, that one's going to be high for ball 4. And now the bases are loaded. Nobody out. And Aiden Palmer coming to the plate. The first baseman. This could be big. Pine City looks like we're going to get another mound visit and possibly a pitching change. Looks like we will see a pitching change. So we'll find out who the new pitcher is when we come back. You're listening to Baseball on WCMP.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas. When you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Tepley will stay in at the pitcher spot, and that's a great vote of confidence from your head coach to, sadly have the bases loaded, but then he comes out just trying to calm you down, and he says, you know what, you get to stay out here. Love to see that. His first pitch is in there for strike 1, and then he gets Palmer to swing on this one for strike 2, and what a comeback this would be if he was able to strike Palmer out here in this at-bat to get the first out of the inning with bases loaded. Oh, and that one's going to cross the plate for a strike 3. He will. So he will get the strikeout there on Palmer. And one down, base is still loaded, though. Play at any plate, though, if you're the Bombers. High for ball 1 on that pitch to Ethan Agard. Dragons lead 2-0, and a base knock here probably drives in at least 2 more. Depending on the speed at first, could empty the bases. That one's going to be high for ball 2 to Ethan Agard, and the Dragons, man, with one swing in the bat, could really break this thing wide open. 2-0 count now to Agard. It just swung on, and that is not going to help much, as that is going to be popped up to the first baseman for out number 2. So if you're the Bombers, you're in a jam, but you're just about to escape it. 2 big at-bats for the Dragons, gone by the wayside, so to speak. And now Luke Wilson trying to make something happen for the Dragons. High outside for ball 1. Tepley, after he got the bases loaded on a couple of walks, has sent the last 2 down, 1 on strikes, and then popped the other one up to the first baseman. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Luke Wilson will ground that one back to the pitcher, and the throw on to first in time for out number 3. That one was a roller to the pitcher, and he got the web of his glove on it, it looked like, and it rolled by him just a little bit, but he was able to recoup, get caught up to it, throw it on to first before Wilson got there for out number 3. So the Braham Bombers escape a nasty jam there. And now we move to the top of inning number 4. Take a commercial break. You're listening to Baseball on 106.5 FM, WCMP.
When you need an AC or furnace tune-up, Dale's Heating and Appliance is always clutch. Need financing on a new AC or furnace system? Dale's Heating and Appliance in Pine City is your closer. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Avoid costly repairs on your AC or heating system by getting a tune-up from Dale's Heating and Appliance. Dale's is your hometown cooling and heating expert, servicing Pine City and surrounding areas. Visit Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com today. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Name dropping. Huh, who does that anymore? John Deere, Toro, Gravely, Aaron's, all the top names are available and on site at Minnesota Equipment. Whether it's time to upgrade your zero-turn, walk-behind mower, or small utility tractor, the experienced team at Minnesota Equipment can put you in the machine that fits your needs. And the sale is just the start of the relationship at Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Kettle River Pizza, the handcrafted pizza made locally in Ash Cove, Minnesota. Always the highest quality ingredients. Pizza that is consistently great tasting. A true crowd pleaser. 16 varieties to choose from. Enjoy the classics like pepperoni, pepperoni sausage and supreme, to the unique tastes of hot Hawaiian, taco, buffalo chicken, and chicken Alfredo. Pick some up at your local grocer, tavern, or convenience store. Handcrafted Kettle River Pizza. Moms and basketball players approved.
Back here for the top of the 4th inning in Pine City, it's going to be Logan Linez, the center fielder, or left fielder rather, for today. Well, in the first game anyways. We'll see what the second game brings us. But so far, Dragons lead 2-0, top of the 4th. First pitch is swung on and just past the outstretched arm of Blotz. That's going to get by to the outfield. Linez rounding first, but ball will be thrown back into the infield. And a base hit for Logan Linez to start this 4th inning, and just what the Ram Bombers needed after escaping a nasty jam there in the 3rd. They come out with a base knock from Logan Linez, and now Brennan Lee steps to the plate. Nobody on, and a runner already on first. They're keeping a close eye on Linez, as they did last time, and Linez just back in before the tag. Haas almost got one of their runners out. This one's going to be swung on, popped up towards the shortstop, and he's going to be under it for out number 1. The shortstop there today, Nick Plajic. You'd like to see him get maybe 2 hands on that one, as he did a good job closing his glove around it, but if that one drops, that would be devastating. As how are we going to get time here, and may we see a quick to the mound for Ha. I'm not sure if the head coach here for Pine City, Ted Ha, has seen something, and maybe Isaiah Haas is getting sore with his arm, or maybe they're just trying to save his arm at the end of the season here. Maybe going to be looking to go to the next pitcher in line and again, save the arms as much as they can. Because at this point in the season, yes, you could let the pitchers go, especially in a doubleheader like this. They could, I guess, potentially go the entire game. But when you get down to the season like this, you don't want to overbury a young man's arm and risk any potential injury, especially going into the playoffs, because normally you're going to have your starting pitchers out there for as much as the game as you can, unless, certain situations like a blowout or if, heaven forbid, a pitcher is just not feeling it out there on the mound and he's having a rough day. So the Dragons will switch it up. It looks like it's going to be Nick Plajic on the mound now. I believe Haas will go to third. Looks like Blotz may have moved over to short and Wilson to second. So again, this 2-game, 5-inning doubleheader sees the Dragons leading 2-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Isaiah Haas goes 3 1/3 inning, or 3 innings, no 1/3. Yes, 1/3. Yeah, we got the out. Yeah, wow. I promise my brain is all here all the time. Three and one-third inning here for Isaiah Haas. He had 6 strikeouts, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 in the third. Apparently math is going to be good for me today, just not English. Usually it's quite the other way around. Usually math is quite hard, even the simplest of 2 plus 2. It's a new day, folks. Math is becoming easy. Back to the action as Plajic has felt he is warmed up again. Defensive changes. It is Haas over at third, Blotz short, and Wilson at second. At the plate now for the Bombers is Isaac Oquist, the DH for Gary Nielsen. They check on the runner at first. He's back in time. So Plajic coming out and not even throwing a pitch. He says, don't worry, I'm going to check on you too. 1 down, runner on first here for Braham. Oquist getting the signal from his coach, Laniz. He'll step back into the batter's box. Plajic gets set. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled right back into the backstop. Nick Plajic coming in for Isaiah Haas here in game number 1. Here's the pitch to Oquist. Throw down to second. Not in time as Logan Laniz is in there safely. Looks like an 0-2 count now for Oquist, though. And those are tough. When the steal situation is on, you got to hold your swing, especially when it's a strike. That's got to be tough for any batter, but you do advance the runner. 1 out. And Oquist just gets a piece of that one. He'll follow it back over the fence, and that might reach the JV field over there. We got all 4 fields full here in Pine City. We've got the JV game to our right, the varsity game right in front of us. Then over to our left, it's the varsity softball game, and to the further left is the JV softball game. So all 4 fields full here today. And believe it or not, both are double headers, yeah. Both the varsity and JV, varsity teams for softball, baseball are playing double headers as that pitch is high for Oquist for ball 1. 1-2 count now. Plajic with the pitch. And again, Oquist fouls this one back out of play. And good battle brewing between Oquist and Plajic. And Oquist has given Plajic a tough start to the day here for him as he's coming in after Haas went 3 1/3 innings with 6 strikeouts. Plajic gets this one. Throw on to first in time. Didn't really hear that one come off the bat. That was interesting. That one really, you couldn't hear it. I don't know if that maybe hit him or that was weird. But 2 down now as the runner, Laniz, advances to third. And now at the plate is going to be Lucas Shue. Two down. Runner on third, and Plajic fires this one in there for strike 1. Top of the 4th, runner in scoring position, 90 feet. Well, I think it's 60 feet for high school. Either way, he's close. Base hit, drives him home. That one's in there for strike 2 to Shue. He thought that one was a little bit further inside than what they called, and it's strike 2, 0-2 count now for Shue. Nick Plajic trying to get out of this one. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and Plajic will get Shue down swinging, and man, the Dragons are able to avoid that runner from third who got on with a base knock to begin the inning. They avoid him getting home to cut the lead in half and down to 1. So Dragons get out of that one, and they'll move to the bottom of the 4th inning with the score still in their favor at 2-0. Dragons trying to stay on top, near the top of their section. Again, we're on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP for today's broadcast. I, of course, am Ethan Game Day Gilman. It's been a rough spring here for sports. Usually they start middle of March, beginning of April. That obviously didn't happen, and really we basically started every spring sport just this month because really nothing was able to happen I know a lot of these schools were luckily able to go down to a couple of the colleges and get a couple of their games played in. I know Pine City was able to go down to western Minnesota, and I forgot where they played now. But they were able to go down there. Looking at the section, though, Pine City ranks 4th in the section at 10-2. They're 4-1, but behind Duluth Marshall, Esco, and Rockridge. Duluth Marshall's 9-3. 14-0 is Esco. 10-3 is Rockridge, and then 10-2 for Pine City. Esco right now, they might be the team to beat. They are scoring right now 12 runs and only giving up about 2. That is incredible. Next closest is going to be Duluth Marshall, who scores just over 7.5 and only gives up 2. So very, very tough section. But we seen a couple of years ago, Pine City was right middle of the pack, and they ran through that section. That one's going to be inside for ball 1. Just listening to his teammates. It's pretty funny. Mason Charles to lead off for Pine City. First 2 pitches are inside for ball 2. You love baseball. A lot of times your teammates aren't really saying much. They're just making a lot of noise. Mason Charles rips one down the third baseline, but it goes foul. And when I say ripped it, I mean he absolutely shot that one out of a cannon. That was a beautiful hit. That's a extra base hit just because of the sheer speed of that ball traveling down the third base line. So that pitch is inside as well for a 3-1 count now to Charles, and a 2-0 foul. Man, that stays fair. That one's going away. It's probably all the way to the fence. That one's going to be low for ball 4, and Charles will start the bottom of the 4th with a walk, and now coming to the plate is going to be Bryce Erickson. Seen him play recently, well, I shouldn't say recently, but in the fall as the Dragon quarterback leading their offense. Tepley with the pitch. And in under the tag is Mason Charles. Great job there by Tucker Gould to get that one down there, but just, and I mean just off the mark, but if that one's just on the mark a little bit more, I mean, that runner might be out. And hitting this one fouled on the first baseline is Erickson. Erickson fouls that one off, and he'll go ready to do it again. On deck, Isaiah Haas. Here's the pitch from Tepley. That one is hammered out to right field. Right fielder's on it. It's going to get over his head, and that will be extra bases. It might not be home, though, for the runner from second, Charles. Oh, it will. He stayed on second because that one looked like it might have been played a lot better by the right fielder, but it did get over his head, and Charles will score from second. Using those wheels, he turned on the boost. Gave it a little bit of a nitrous shot there as he rounded third. Coming in for the third run of the game for Pine City, so it's an RBI double for Bryce Erickson. And now to the plate is Isaiah Haas. They are going to intentionally walk him. So Haas not going to get a chance to use his power, but now they'll put Plajic at the plate, and he's got he's got pretty good power too, so you walk Haas, but, you got pretty good power behind him too in Plajic. Now he's going to be in there for strike 1. You know, I play softball, not that this matters, not that anybody cares, but I can barely look at one pitch, let alone 2. I find it so hard to be patient at the plate, so when these guys are sitting there taking, watching these pitches come in, I was just like, how? Plajic is going to pop this one up, but it goes fouling out of play. So now an 0-2 count. Nobody out. Run has scored. And runners on first and second. Bottom of the 4th. Dragons lead 3-0. Tepley still on the mound for the Bombers. He's done a good job of getting out of some jams. That is mental toughness by him. Blodgett gets a piece of this one, pops it up to the center fielder, and oh, nice running grab there by the center fielder, Lucas Shue. Getting to that one, gets his glove on it, holds on for out number 1. Lucas Shue had to run a ways for that one, but grabs it for out number 1. And to the plate now is Riley Cummings. 2 on, 1 out. Tepley checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Cummings got a piece of that one. It's a 0-1 count. Tepley. Readies. And here's the pitch. Runner from second will steal third. Tepley will step off for a moment, and the defense will get a word from head coach Laniz. And Tepley back to the mound, and from the stretch. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Gould will pump fake down to second as the runner from first returns to first. That again is Isaiah Haas over there at first. Over on third is Bryce Erickson. And Haas is going to steal second. 2-2 count now for Riley Cummings. 1 down, runners in scoring position. Cummings with an opportunity to add on to their lead. But Tepley, again, he's been in jams like this before, and he's done a great job of getting out of them. That one's going to get low and roll past the catcher, and not enough for the Dragons to send anybody, so they'll hold everybody where they're at. And give themselves 2 outs to play with. With that one, Gould has just been so good at reaching the ball in time and getting the ball back. They don't want to send anybody in a tough situation like that and potentially get an out at home. So instead, they'll have Cummings do it again. And, the strike was, or the ball was swung on and dropped by the catcher, and Cummings could have ran to first, but he will be out number 2. 2 out, runners on in scoring position. Now at the plate will be Elliot Blotz. And again, Tepley trying to get out of another jam. His team down by 3 in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Took a little off that one, but it is outside for ball 1. Again, 2 down and 2 on. Looks like they want to have a conversation between shortstop, catcher, and pitcher. Maybe just not on the quite the same page, and head coach Lynn is making sure that they are on the same page. And conference not over. They're going to get back to the mound and continue their talk. Looking at Braham, it has been the season they had hoped for up to this point in the Section 5A East. They are 5th behind Mille Lacs, Hill City, Northland, Hinckley, Finlayson, and Ogilvie. Ogilvie having quite a season right now. Best team in 5A East. And I'd say best team in 5A. There's 8-3. Braham is 2-8, 2-4 in the section. So Tepley with 2 out and 2 on. This one is swung on and hit, but foul off the first base line by Elliot Blotz. Tepley with the pitch. Blotz gets a piece of that one right to the second baseman. He nabs it for out number 3. So the Bombers once again escape the jam, and they'll only give up 1 run here in the 4th inning. So the Dragons lead 3-0 going into what could possibly be the final inning of this first game of this doubleheader here in Pine City. We'll wait and see. But first, we'll take a short break and hear a word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to High School Baseball here on WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
WCMP, top of the 5th. It is still Nick Plajek out there. And the first pitch to Tucker Gould is going to be inside ball 1. 3-0 lead here for Pine City. Here's the pitch from Plajek. Gould got a piece of it. Fouls it back out of play. In there for strike 2 to Lee. So it is Lee. Okay, interesting. It is Gould on the roster sheet, but it is Lee on his jersey, and that's what it's. So that's what it is. I was kind of confused, but it is Lee. Maybe. That must be Brennan Lee. Oh, and swinging up at that one is Brennan Lee. So that is Brennan Lee. I don't know. I am super confused. He does strike out, but instead of being confused, let's just get back to the game. I like that idea. First pitch to Belden is swung on. You got a piece of it. Just not enough to put it in play. Inside for ball 1. And that one's going to be high for ball 2 to Eli Belden. Now 2-1 to Belden, 1 out. Swinging, getting a piece of this one. It will reach foul territory. 2-2 count. And the pitch. He gets another piece of this one, fouls it off. Keeping himself alive. Logic will get this one just high. He runs the count full 3-2 for Eli Belden. Here's the pitch. And Belden gets a piece of this one down the left field line. And it is a one-out double for Belden. Nope, foul. That's what I thought, but he kept running, so I guess that he was, that ball stayed fair. It did not. So it will not be a one-out double. He'll have to go back as it is a foul ball, hard-hit foul ball, but we'll do it again at 3-2. That one is high for ball 4. Foul the last time, but he'll get to walk. I mean, not as good as he would have liked because he reached second with that last one, but he's still on base with one out, and now that brings to the plate Caleb Schusted. Wouldn't be surprised if we'll see him pitch here in the next game. A very, very talented pitcher. Very talented athlete in general. Schusted, one of their 2 seniors. Snedeker, their other one. This one's going to roll down the first base line, and Palmer picking it up, stepping on first. For the out, it's going to be on number 2, and Belden will advance to second. 2 down, runner on second. And this could be it. Dalton Bankston. Coming to the plate. 2 down, runner on second. And this one's popped up into foul territory. Everybody's running after it. And Plajek looked like he may have stepped in a divot over there. He is all right, though. Racing after that one, trying to end this first game of doubleheader. But it does reach foul. So Dalton Bankston will go back and do it again, trying to extend the game. One's going to get by the catcher, and runner from second moves to third. He's eyeing home, but ball gets back to Nick Plajek, and we'll get set to do it with 2 outs, runner on third. Plajek trying to finish up the first game of the doubleheader. That one's low. Oh, strike. 2-2. Plajek sets. Here's the pitch. And that will score a run. So a wild pitch is going to score a run here for Braham. Game is not over. So the run scores on the wild pitch. It's a 3-1 game in favor of Pine City. But now all of a sudden the Bombers get a runner to score, and it's 3-1. 2 down. We've seen bats get hot with 2 outs before. Let's see if the Braham Bombers can't do that right here. Ooh, just high. And Bankston does a good job holding off on that one. It's a full count. That one is going to be popped up and out of play. We'll do it again with full count. Full count. Bankston trying to continue this game. Plajek trying to end it. 3-2 pitch is on the way. Inside, ball 4. So the game will continue at least for one more batter. And the tying run has now come to the plate for Braham by the way of Jake Tepley. Runner on first, 2 down for Tepley. Plajek gets this one, and Tepley gets a swing on it, but fouls it back out of play. Oh, 1 count for Tepley. Plajek with the pitch. That one's in there for strike 2. 0-2 count for Jake Tepley. Nick Plajek trying to finish off the first game of the doubleheader. Plajek with the pitch. High, inside, ball 1. 1-2 count. Plajek with the 1-2 delivery. Ooh, and Tepley just gets a piece of that one. So he'll stay alive with the 1-2 count. 2 down, runner on first. It's a 3-1 lead here for Pine City in the 5th inning. Nick Plajek trying to make it the last. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the Dragons will come out with the victory here in game number 1 of the doubleheader. 3-1 over the Braham Bombers. So the Bombers do some work there in the last inning and they didn't drive a run home. They did get a run or 2 cross the plate, though. But the Dragons come out on top 3-1 in game number 1. And we will now move on to the second game of our doubleheader here in Pine City between the Dragons and the Bombers. We'll reset the scoreboard and move back to the first inning here in Pine City. We'll also take a commercial break here on WCMP. Of course, you're listening to this high school baseball sports action on 106.5 FM and AM 1350. Of course, also online at WCMPradio.com.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
When you need an AC or furnace tune-up, Dale's Heating and Appliance is always clutch. Need financing on a new AC or furnace system? Dale's Heating and Appliance in Pine City is your closer. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Avoid costly repairs on your AC or heating system by getting a tune-up from Dale's Heating and Appliance. Dale's is your hometown cooling and heating expert, servicing Pine City and surrounding areas. Visit Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com today. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Name dropping. Who does that anymore? John Deere, Toro, Gravely, Aaron's, all the top names are available and on site at Minnesota Equipment. Whether it's time to upgrade your zero-turn, walk-behind mower, or small utility tractor, the experienced team at Minnesota Equipment can put you in the machine that fits your needs. And the sale is just the start of the relationship at Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Kettle River Pizza, the handcrafted pizza made locally in Ascove, Minnesota. Always the highest quality ingredients. Pizza that is consistently great tasting. A true crowd pleaser. 16 varieties to choose from. Enjoy the classics like pepperoni, pepperoni sausage, and supreme, to the unique tastes of hot Hawaiian, taco, buffalo chicken, and chicken Alfredo. Pick some up at your local grocer, tavern, or convenience store. Handcrafted Kettle River Pizza. Moms and basketball players approved.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also process well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bacon Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, we are at the intermission point of this doubleheader matchup between the Dragons and the Bombers. The Dragons won that first game 3-1, and they added that third run in the fourth inning. Isaiah Haas went 3 1/3 innings with 6 strikeouts in his outing. Then Nick Blajic came in for the next 1 2/3 innings. Got a couple strikeouts on his stat sheet as well. And the Dragons come out on top 3-1 here in the first game of the doubleheader. For the Braham Bombers, going all the way was Jake Tepley. He was in some bad spots there in this game, but did a great job of keeping headstrong and keeping his team in it and getting out of those very, very tough situations. I mean, he was in some bad jams. He was able to work himself and his team out of them, keep them in this game. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough, as they did get a run across on a wild pitch. But Nick Blajic and Isaiah Haas do a good job of pitching and getting out of there with the victory. So the Dragons come out on top 3-1 in that first game. Again, can't give enough credit to Jake Tepley and his catcher, who I believe was Brennan Lee, but could be wrong. It was a Lee, though, not Tucker Gould, as I was saying throughout the broadcast. A little bit of confusion on the roster sheet in this the lineup card, so I apologize for that. But pitcher-catcher had a great communication, had a great relationship there in that first game for Braham, and the catcher did a really good job of just keeping the balls in front of him no matter where they went. He was able to quickly, and that's how they ended an inning for Pine City. Pine City thought they had a run, able to score on a wild pitch, but the catcher was able to locate it quickly, get it back to the pitcher Tepley, and he was able to take him for the out sliding home. So Pine City not able to add on there, but Tepley was, that was not an easy outing for him, but man, did he stay headstrong and kept his team in it and didn't allow too much damage in those situations. I mean, he had the bases loaded a couple times and also worked out of a 2 runners in scoring position battle. So great job there by Tepley to work himself out of some bad situations. But Pine City, again, takes that first game 3-1. A great outing there for Haas and Plajic. And Haas was intentionally walked one of the times because Braham just said, you know what, we're not going to give you an opportunity to drive in more runs with your power. And again, he's a very, very good power hitter, but also a very good pitcher as well. So the Dragons will head into the second game of the doubleheader at 1-0 here. On the games today, we'll be looking to go 2-0 and finish up the day. 2 wins better on the season. Of course, taking a look at section play for both of these teams. Again, Braham in that 5th spot behind Ogilvie, Hinckley, Hill City, Northland, and Mille Lacs at 2 and 8, 2 and 4. In the section, Pine City does move down to 4th, but only because they have not played as many games as the other top teams in the section, like Duluth Marshall, Esco, and Rockridge. They were as high as 3rd in the section, but now in 4th. And again, that doesn't matter because only a couple of years ago, they were in the middle of this section, and they absolutely tore through this section. They were up in, Greenway, I believe, Greenway, Minnesota. And I had to go back there because, they lost the first game? and then they had to play play another day, I think is what it was. So it was Moore and Pine City, but I was there for the Moore game, there for the Pine City game. I believe it was both teams lost. Had to go back up there another day. Mora and Pine City. Pine City won that game, and then Mora played, I think it was Virginia. I want to say it was Virginia. I could be wrong, but I believe it was Virginia that they played, and Virginia kind of beat up on Pine City in the time that they beat them in the first round, but then in the elimination bracket, Pine City took it to them, was able to advance to what would have been, I guess you could call the elimination bracket championship game. And if they would have won that game, they would have been in the championship game to go to state, but sadly they lost to Evelyn Gilbert in that game, the Golden Bears. So that's how they fell out of playoff contention a couple of years ago. It was man, what a fun season that was for Pine City. And then they came back last year, had another great season, and looking to do much of the same here this year as the brackets are a little bit shifted, but that's mainly because now it's Rockridge for Evelyn Gilbert and Virginia. They've now come together to make the Rockridge Co-op. Rockridge having a pretty darn good season themselves, but again, you always got to watch out for Pine City, but I think there's going to be one big target out there, and that's Esco, who's currently 14-0, scoring over 12 runs a game and holding teams to just under 2 runs a game. It helps when you've got a bunch of shutouts and a bunch of games where you score 20-plus runs. That was against Barnum. They scored 27-22 against Cook County. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Almost every single one of their wins here are double digits. They only have a few that are close. Southridge was a close one where they only won by 2. The next closest one was Duluth Marshall, who is in the section, by the way, on top of the section. They beat them by 1. Then the next closest one would be, I guess, a 5-run win over War Road. So this ESCO team, very, very strong, and they might be the ones with the targets on their backs going into the playoffs coming up here in, I think it's 2 weeks that we'll be getting to playoffs for baseball as we take a look at the section tournaments for baseball. Again, going to be very interesting to see where everything lines up because we've also got softball coming up here quickly. It's going to be a crazy time of year. But yeah, as we look at it, it's going to be May 30th, so not next week, but the week after is when we will start baseball playoffs. And then it's going to be May 30th, June 1st, June 6th, and June 8th is when we will have the tournament beginning for this section anyway, for Section 7AA. And bracket so far, you can't really tell where they're going to play or anything. I'm pretty sure that'll be at the end of the next week that they'll decide who's going to play where and when. So we'll find out then. And then, of course, the playoffs beginning next week is softball. Pine City will be in those, as will Mora. And that begins on Tuesday, May 23rd. So next Tuesday, playoffs begin. And then it's May 25th, 30th, and June 1st is how that bracket looks. And maybe we can see what the bracket looks like somewhat. Yeah, so it looks like the high seeds for the first round will get a home game. And then we travel to Grand Rapids for the quarter and semifinals, and then it looks like I'm so confused right now. The second round, and then the quarterfinals and semifinals. There we go. So second round, quarterfinals will be at Grand Rapids, then the semifinals and championships will be at Braun Park and Cloquet. There we go. We figured it out. We got it done. We did it. So that's how that bracket will look. Of course, softball beginning next week. We've got a couple of very good softball teams. Some who might not, I think to a lot of teams seem like, we can look over them. But I think there's some teams who their record might not show how good they really are. That could come out and maybe make an upset in that game 1 of the playoffs. I'm speaking specifically of Mora and Pine City, who don't have the records you would have hoped for going to the playoffs. But I think those are two teams that could come out and make some noise, maybe even pull off an upset or two. Be very interesting to see. But baseball playoffs are about another week and a half away. But just next week, it's going to be softball playoffs, and you can bet we'll be trying to get out there and call as many games as we can. So Man, it boggles my mind that we're really at the end of the spring sports season already. Just crazy. And then we'll be into the town ball season. And then before we know it, back to the fall sports season to do it all over again. Of course, don't forget over at WCMPradio.com, we have a golf card available for you. That is right. We have a golf card. It is on sale now. Now, there's only a limited amount of these golf cards, so be sure to get these while you can. It's a golf card nearly worth $200. You can get it for $100. Yeah, a golf card that's nearly worth $200 that you can get for only $100 right now. And again, be sure to get yours while you can because there are only a limited amount. You can get 18 holes of golf and a cart at each of the 4 locations. The 4 locations are the Bull Rush Golf Course in Rush City, the Stones Throw Golf Course in Malacca, the Spring Brook Golf Course in Mora, and of course, the Pine City Country Club. It is not valid for league or tournament play, and it does expire at the end of this golf season. Now it is valid for an 18-hole round of golf with a cart and 1 person at each participating course, or valid for 2 9-hole rounds at the Pine City Country Club on the same day. That's a great deal for anyone who likes to go out and play golf, whether you're really into golf and you're trying to get out there and get a slamming deal, or you're just like, you know what, it's a beautiful day, why not go to the courses and play a little golf and just have a good time. That's a great deal. Be sure to get on over to our website and get your hands on those. Again, it's a great deal. Or if you know someone, get it as a gift. You know, maybe their birthday's coming up here in the summer. That's a great gift. Even if they've never been golfing, just take them golfing for once and be like, hey, let's try something different here. Get outside and enjoy the weather. And I feel like that's a great way to get outside and enjoy the weather anyways, especially when it's not supposed to rain at all. Being able just to go out there, take your time on a golf course and be out there and enjoy the weather because, yeah, you're going to have people who play faster than you maybe, but you can always, tell them to go ahead of you. And everyone's usually really polite out there. They do a great job keeping all these golf courses, not just on this card, but around the local listening area, upkept really well. And I want to shout out the groundskeepers for those golf courses. They do a great job of upkeeping these golf courses in this local listening area, as well as the 4 on the golf card. So, again, head over to WCMPradio.com/deals for the golf card. It's nearly $200 in value. You can get it now for $100. Again, there are only a limited amount, so be sure to get on over and get yours. Again, we're in Pine City awaiting the start of game number 2 of this doubleheader. The Dragons take game 1, 3-1 over the Braham Bombers, but the Braham Bombers seem to have grabbed a little bit momentum there in game 1, and we'll see if they can't turn that into some more runs here in game 2. Thank you so much. Getting the new sheets for game 2 from the coaches. Thank you. We've got the game 2 sheets here from both head coaches. Again, appreciate all the head coaches in the local listening area. They do such a great job of getting us and keeping us up to date on roster sheets and lineup cards. And can't say thank you enough to them. They are just so willing and ready to work with us, and it is greatly appreciated. Won't spoil the lineup here for you until we get closer to first pitch of game number 2 of the doubleheader. Looks like the Bombers may have switched jerseys. Looks like they may be wearing black jerseys here for game 2 of the doubleheader. Pine City, again, very good season. Looking just to add more wins on to the already impressive win mark. They're now 11-2 on the season with this game 1 win. Maybe, hopefully, looking to go to a 12-2, but again, Braham found some momentum there in that last couple innings of game 1, and they'll look to turn it into a 3rd win on this season here in this second game, and that would be huge because not only would it be a conference win, but also a win over a team like Pine City who is having a good season, and that could potentially affect their standings. That would be huge, but again, we tried to look at the bracket there for the baseball tournament. It not quite up yet. They usually do that about the week before to see, where the high seeds will play. And I'm assuming it's going to be the high seeds get the home game for the first round, and then it's to the neutral site. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Neutral site games. So we'll keep you up to date on that because, again, next week begins the softball playoffs, and then it's the baseball playoffs the week after that. So the next couple of weeks we're going to have a lot going on, and We are hoping to get out there and do as many games as we possibly can that you can listen to. That way you can stay up to date and we can keep you up to date. Still waiting the start of game number 2. They do have to have a certain amount of time in between double headers. Looks like we got one of the umps, both the umps back here. May start to get underway here sooner rather than later. But instead of listening to me babble on, let's take a commercial break and hear a word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to baseball, a doubleheader baseball here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP.
When you need an AC or furnace tune-up, Dale's Heating and Appliance is always clutch. Need financing on a new AC or furnace system? Dale's Heating and Appliance in Pine City is your closer. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Avoid costly repairs on your AC or heating system by getting a tune-up from Dale's Heating and Appliance. Dale's is your hometown cooling and heating expert, servicing Pine City and surrounding areas. Visit Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com today. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Name dropping. Huh, who does that anymore? John Deere, Toro, Gravely, Aaron's, all the top names are available and on site at Minnesota Equipment. Whether it's time to upgrade your zero-turn, walk-behind mower, or small utility tractor, the experienced team at Minnesota Equipment can put you in the machine that fits your needs. And the sale is just the start of the relationship at Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Yeah, and if you're a business that's just starting up, or maybe you're a business who has been in business for many years, and you're in the local listening community and you want to get your business out to more and more people, we can help with that. Last year, our games were viewed nearly 100,000 times on YouTube. That gives you more opportunity to reach more customers without doing the work. You can contact our advertising team by emailing wcmp@q-mediagroup.com. That again is wcmp@q-mediagroup.com. So again, a great way for you to get your business name out there and spread the word a little bit more, and makes it a little bit easier on you to spread the word, because then we're doing the work and we're spreading the word for you. You again, if you're sponsoring a game, your ad will be played at the very least twice. When I try to do games, I try and get the ads played, at least 3 times, if not more, if I'm able to, just to make sure that those ads get out there and people can hear, not only our sponsors, but hear your business as well, so that they know, hey, these are the people who sponsored this broadcast. Go out and support their business because they're supporting us. And again, not only that, like I said, when you support us, we're able to spread the word for you. And we've got plenty of people who tune in. So make sure to, if you're looking to just kind of kickstart your business, or again, if you've been in business for a while and just kind of want to reach a few more people, contact our advertisers here. They're great people to work with. I work with them every day. They're kind. They're you-oriented. They will work with you as much as they can and try and give you everything that you would like to have in an ad. And we do so much with ads. I mean, we have the capability to do so much. And again, sponsors never hurt either. So Braham will again be the home team here for game number 2, as Pine City will get set to be the away team. And looking at the lineup for Braham, we get started. On the mound for them will be Dalton Bankston. At catcher is Jake Tepley. Over that at first is Eli Belden. Then at second is Logan Laniz. At third, Brennan Lee. At shortstop is going to be Caleb Schusted. In left field, it's Ben White. Center field is Lucas Shue. And right field is Alex Snedeker. That is the lineup sheet. So again, on the mound, going to be Dalton Bankston. And leading off for the Dragons is Mason Charles. And the Bombers do switch jerseys. colors there in just a second. First pitch to Charles is swung on and hit down the left field line. It's hanging in the air. And foul. First pitch swinging is Mason Charles. He fouls it off down the third base line. Again, Dalton Bankston starting on the mound today, or starting on the mound here in the second game for Braham. Wind up in the pitch. Oh, high and inside, and Charles getting out of the way of that one. 1-1 count now. Bankston with the windup and the pitch. Low, and that one's going to get away. 2-1 count now here for Mason Charles. The Bombers now wearing black jerseys with the blue letters and numbers outlined in white. Blue caps. That ball is going to be in the dirt as well for ball 3. So 3-1 count after Charles swung on the first pitch and fouled it off. It's now 3 straight balls and make it 3-1. 3-1 pitch on the way. In the dirt for ball 4. So after first pitch swinging, he watches 4 pitches in a row, and he'll walk down to first. Now coming to the plate, Bryce Erickson. Runner on first, Erickson. And Charles into second safely. Well ahead of the throw there. Throw down was pretty good, but bounces out of the shortstop's glove over it. And second baseman does a good job backing him up and making sure that Charles can advance to third. Bankston keeping an eye on the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Swung on and just over the second baseman's head. That will bring Mason to third, and he's going to try for home, and he's going to be into home safe. So the Dragons scoring early here in game number 2. An RBI single there for Bryce Erickson makes it a 1-0 lead. And Mason Charles showing off them wheels. Nice hit there for Bryce Erickson, though, as that one just got over the second baseman's head and rolled a little bit into the outfield. And now it's Isaiah Haas at the plate. Runner on first, nobody out. That one's low for ball 1 to Haas, and Erickson thought about going, but he moves back to first. Bankston with the pitch. Low for ball 2. Dalton Bankston gets a start on the mound here in game number 2, as the Braham Bombers are the home team in the game number 2, as Pine City was the home team in game 1. That one's in there for a strike to Haas. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Runner's going to go, but Haas is going to foul this one back, and Erickson turns on the brakes, and he'll have to jog back to first. Man, did he have a I mean, he was about 3/4 of the way to second by the time the ball got to Haas, and he would have been, I think, in his second standing. He got that good of a jump. Haas, though, with the 2-2. Bankston will peek over to first. Here's the pitch. Haas will foul this one off. Back out of play. Haas keeping himself alive. And a lot of times it's sometimes just about battling off some of those pitches and then getting your pitch and straightening the ball out. Bankston will check over on the runner at first and dives back safely, does Erickson. Oz will pop this one up to shallow center. Under it is the center fielder, Shu, for out number 1. 1 down and a runner on first. And now to the plate, Nick Plajek. Bankston with the pitch. It's going to be high, and Erickson not the greatest of jump that time on the steal, but he's still in there safely as the ball thrown just a little bit high for the shortstop. He manages to knock it down, and the second baseman gets behind him to pick it up. Either way, it's a steal for Bryce Erickson. 1-0 count now for Nick Plajek, and Bankston with the pitch. Line inside for ball 2, 2-0 count. 1 down. Runner on second, and a run has already scored here for Pine City as they lead 1-0. Plajek hits that one right past the shortstop, and runner Erickson will advance to third, and Plajek is on first. So runners on the corners with 1 out, and now coming up to the plate is going to be Riley Cummings. Looking to bat in a run and make it a 2-0 lead early on. It's kind of how the last game went, is they got up too early, 2-0 early on. There we go. Then didn't score another run till the 4th inning, but that wound up being enough. Ball is inside, and again, not a great jump. Oh! Plajek getting not the greatest of jumps on that one, and ball was there, and I thought he may have been out, but slid in under the tag. So runners in scoring position with 1 down for Riley Cummings. That one is high to Cummings. Two-0 count. Dalton Bankston with the pitch. Is in there for strike 1. Cummings kind of followed that one with his bat, and I think at the last moment wanted to go around, but decided, you know what, I'll take this one, and I'll watch for it next time. 2-1 count. Runners in scoring position with 1 out. We're going to get a little conversation here about maybe the count. There's a little bit of confusion. I'm trying to listen in. A little bit of a confusion as to what the count is. I think Braham's saying it should be a 1-2 or 2-2 or 2-1. Okay. Yeah, I think Braham was trying to say it should be a 1-2 instead of a 2-1. But the ump explains as to why it is a 2-1, and we're back to action. Riley Cummings at the plate. Dalton Bankston with the pitch. Cummings swings through that one to even the count at 2-2. 1 down and runners in scoring position here for Pine City. Again, they've already had a run across the plate. Bankston with the pitch. Cummings got a piece of that one and fouls it off down the third base line. So we'll do it again with a 2-2 count. Bankston. Readies. And the delivery. Low for ball 3. It's now a full count here for Riley Cummings. And something I've noticed is the Dragons have done a good job both games of just working the count, being patient up there at the plate, not even if they swing early on, they work this count. And Cummings will go down looking. That one caught him. So Cummings will go down looking, and that brings Elliot Blotz to the plate. Now 2 down and runners in scoring position still. But again, Pine City is known to get hot with 2 outs. Let's see if they can continue here in the bottom, or top rather, of the first. Ball 1 to Blotz. 1-0 is swung on and straight back up the middle, and the center fielder will get to it, and the runner from second rounding third, and he dives into the home plate. Nick Blazek dives into a pile of dirt at home, and he is safe. Getting dirty there at home. It's an RB, a 2-run single. That Blotz turns into a 2-bagger. It's still a single, but after the throw to home, he decides to move on to second. So the 2-out bats stay hot as Blotz with a 2-run single make it 3-0. Now at the plate, Aiden Palmer. That one's in there for strike 1. Nick Blazek dove home. I don't know if he necessarily need to, but hey, why not? Oh, 1 count here for Palmer. Here's the pitch. And there for strike 2. 0-2 count here for Palmer, and Bankston trying to end the inning with a strikeout. Or an out. I'm sure he doesn't care too much. I mean, I'm sure he'd like to strike out, but I'm sure he would just like to get out of this inning, and he does. He got Palmer swinging. So the Dragons do a little bit of damage. They get 3 runs across, but Bankston does grab 2 strikeouts before the inning ends, and we'll head to the bottom of the first inning here in game number 2, where the Dragons lead early here, 3-0 in the second game of this doubleheader. Pine City won the first game 3-1 as the home team. Now they'll be the away team in game 2. And looking at the lineup here on defense for them, on the mound for them will be Nick Blazek as he finished off the last game in the 1 2/3 innings. Then catching for him is going to be Ethan Agard. Over at first, it's going to be Aiden Palmer. Then on second, Luke Wilson. At third, Isaiah Haas. At short, Elliot Blotz. Then in the outfield, Bryce Erickson will be in left. In center will be Riley Cummings. And over there in right is going to be Mason Charles. That is their defensive lineup for game number 2. Be interesting to see how long Blazek will stay in at the pitcher spot, as he came in for Isaiah Haas, who pitched 3 1/3 innings in the first game. Came out and pitched the last 1 2/3, got a couple of strikeouts. Isaiah Haas had 6 strikeouts in his time out there on the mound. So we'll see how long Blazek is out there on the mound. Of course, I'm sure it'll all depend on score and how he's feeling as well. So we're just about set for our leadoff batter, who's going to be Eli Belden for Braham. Belden. The leadoff man for Braham. Plajek readies. Here's the windup and the pitch. In there, strike one. 0-1 count for Belden. Nick Plajek. That one is swung on. Got a piece of it, did Belden. It will roll to the backstop, and we'll get a new ball in there to Nick Plajek. Again, we got all 4 fields here filled. As Plajek gets this one to be swung on and hit foul. So Belden will have to come all the way back to home plate and do it again with an 0-2 count. Again, all 4 fields here are full. Of course, this one, the varsity baseball field. Then we got the JV baseball field having a game, as well as the varsity softball field having a doubleheader, and the JV softball field also playing a game. Very busy here at Pine City High School. Haas's pitch is going to be in the dirt for ball 1, and sadly it hits the ump in the arm. That's got to be a dead arm right there. Oof. Might have got him in the hand even. That's smarts. That's one that's going to sting for a little bit. So while the ump literally shakes it off, much like Taylor Swift, Belden will get a word from his head coach, Leniz, and he'll move back to the batter's box with a 1-2 count. Plajek with the windup and the pitch. Swung on and hit right back to the shortstop. He'll throw it on to first in time for out number 1. Elliot Blotz, the shortstop, does a good job. Took a little bit of something off that throw to first just to make sure it got there, but almost took too much off, as that one got there a little bit slower than I think he was thinking it would, because Belden turned on the Jets. Now to the plate is going to be Caleb Schusted. Again, a very, very good athlete. Not just baseball player, but a very good athlete. If I remember correctly, it was winter when he scored his 1,000th career point in basketball. Plajek with the delivery. Schusted his first pitch swinging, and he fouls this one back out of play. Schusted back into the box. Plajek with the 0-1 delivery. Gets Schusted to swing and miss on this one. It's now an 0-2 count. So as fast as that first game went, this second game off to a little bit of a slower start. 0-2 count for Schusted. Here's the pitch from Plajek. Oh, just inside for ball 1. 1-2 count now for Schusted. One-two delivery is swung on and missed by Schusted, and he'll go down swinging for the first strikeout for Plajek here in game number 2. And now it's Dalton Bankston's turn. He steps to the plate trying to get something going for the Bombers. Here's the pitch. High for ball 1. Good eye there from Bankston. That one's tempting when it's up in the zone like that, because he might be able to get enough on it to push it deep, but it's going to be high in the air. Just a good eye, and good job holding off on that one. Swings and pops this one up behind the catcher, and that one's going to be a tough one to get to. He won't be able to get to it as it hits the Braham dugout. And it will go out of play. So counts 1-1 for Bankston. Plajek readies. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside, ball 2. 2-1 count for Bankston. Here's the pitch from Pelagic. Swung on and popped up. Nearly caught by Agard, the catcher. Just missed it. So 2-2 count now for Dalton Bankston. As Agard nearly pulled that one in. That's a tough one to track. And not only that, it's right at the fence. So not an easy one to pull in. 2-2 count. Nick Pelagic readies. Here's the pitch. And again, following this one out of play is Bankston. Keeping himself alive there at the plate. Trying not to go 1-2-3. Logic with another 2-2 delivery. This one's high for ball 3. Full count now to Dalton Bankston. Logic with the windup and the pitch. Swung on and a bouncer to the third baseman. Haas on to first in time for out number 3. So Bankston does a good job to battle out there at the plate, but bounces out to Haas as he throws it on to first in plenty of time for out number 3. And that'll be the end of the first inning. And we will move forward to the second inning of play here in the second game of our 2-game, 5-inning doubleheader as the Dragons won the first game 3-1. They lead 3-0 here going into the top of inning number 2. We'll take a quick commercial break here. Word from our fine sponsors. Of course, you're listening to High School Baseball on 106.5 FM AM 1350 and, of course, online at WCMPradio.com.
Kettle River Pizza, the handcrafted pizza made locally in Ash Cove, Minnesota. Always the highest quality ingredients. Pizza that is consistently great tasting. A true crowd pleaser. 16 varieties to choose from. Enjoy the classics like pepperoni, pepperoni sausage and supreme, to the unique tastes of hot Hawaiian, taco, buffalo chicken, and chicken Alfredo. Pick some up at your local grocer, tavern, or convenience store. Handcrafted Kettle River Pizza. Moms and basketball players approved.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Back here on WCMP. Top of the second inning. Dragons lead 3-0. Got through a good chunk of their lineup there in that first inning. As leading off for them will be Ethan Agard, the number 8 hitter. So Ethan Agard leading off this second inning for Pine City. He gets to the plate, gets himself situated. And here's the first pitch. Ball. It's going to be low for ball 1. From Dalton Bankston. Next pitch is in there for strike 1. Now a 1-1 count. What a beautiful day for sports just in general. Not just baseball, but just sports in general. High and outside for ball 2. Now a 2-1 count to Ethan Agard. Leadoff man here in inning number 2. Got a piece of that one, follows it back, and draws the count to even at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Ethan Agard. Dalton Bankston with the windup and the pitch. Oh, and kind of a swinging bunt for Ethan Agard. It drives down the first base line, and I think he was shocked he got a piece of it. Rolled down the first base line. The first baseman grabbed it and stepped on to first in time. That was a tough one there for Agard. Again, kind of a swinging bunt, but he nearly got on base. Either way, it's out number one. Luke Wilson is first pitch swinging. He fouls that one back out of play for strike one. On one count for Wilson. Bankston wants inside for ball one. 1-1 count for Luke Wilson. Swinging through that one for strike two. Now it's a 1-2 count. On deck is the top of the order, Mason Charles. Bankston wasting no time getting that one in there for strike three. He'll put Luke Wilson down looking. So Wilson will go down looking. And 2 down now for Pine City. And nobody on. But again, the bats have been hot with 2 outs for Pine City. We'll see if they can't carry that here. That one's going to be low and in the dirt for ball one to Mason Charles. Here's the 1-0. Charles swings on it, fouls it back, out of play. Nobody's going to reach it. Well, maybe a fan will reach it. There's going to be a 1-1 count now to Mason Charles, who will step back into the box, and Bankston will get ready. Here's the windup and the pitch. Mason Charles gets a hold of that one, and it will bounce to the outfield into the center fielder's glove for a base hit to Mason Charles. So 2 down and 1 on for Pine City, and Bryce Erickson to the plate now. And the bats stay hot with 2 outs here for Pine City. As the runner from first moving down to second, and he's in there with ease. Bankston gets set. Here's the pitch. Erickson gets a piece of that one over to right field. It's down for a base hit. And Charles is going to glide into home standing for the 4th run of the game for the Dragons. It is a 2-out RBI single for Bryce Erickson. And now to the plate is Isaiah Haas. 2 down, runner on first. 4-0, the Dragons lead. Here's the pitch. In there for strike one, but Erickson easily into second. Catcher did not even attempt a throw down. And, of course, the catcher being Jake Tepley. So 0-1 count here for Haas, and Bankston readies for the 0-1 delivery. One's low and outside for ball one. One count now for Isaiah Haas. And here's the pitch. High for ball two. Pretty easy one to lay off of there for Isaiah Haas. It's a 2-1 count now. And the pitch. Swung on and missed by Haas. He's a little bit upset with himself, you can see. So he turns around and he's kind of upset with himself for swinging on that one. That one might have been a little bit too low and could have been possibly a ball, but now it'll even the count at 2. 2-2 the count. Haas readies, as does Bankston. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 3. It's going to be a full count for Isaiah Haas. 2 down here in the top of the second. A runner on second. A run has come across the plate. Haas with a full count. Bankston readies the full count pitch on the way. And Haas gets a piece of that one into left field, and it will score a run easily from second. And Haas on his way into second for an RBI double. A 2-out RBI double for Isaiah Haas to make it 5-0 here in the top of the second in favor of Pine City. As now to the plate is Nick Plajek. Plajek will swing and get a hit, but shortstop picked it up quickly, and Haas kind of got caught in between, but throw on to first is going to be in time for out number 3. So hard hit from Plajek, but it is picked up by the shortstop. That is Caleb Schusted. Fires it over to first just in time for out number 3. So the Dragons do some more damage. They pick up 2 more runs in the top of the second and now lead 5-0 as the Braham Bombers will now head to the offensive side of things and trying to get something going here in the bottom of the second inning. Again, this is a doubleheader. We'll have 2 games of 5 innings. The first one was victorious for the Dragons by a score of 3-1. Braham getting a run across the plate on a wild pitch there in the top of the 5th, but that was all they could muster. And they'll look to do a little bit more here as they've got a little bit more to do scoring-wise than the first. They did a really good job of holding Pine City off in some really bad situations for themselves. It was bases loaded a couple times, but Jake Tepley did a great job of working himself out of those situations, out of those jams. And here in this second game, Pine City finding a little bit more of the runs they were hoping for there in that first game. And again, the 2-out bats stay hot for Pine City. Nick Plajek will still be out on the mound here for the bottom of the second inning. He pitched 1 2/3 innings there in that first game with a couple of strikeouts on the docket. He'll look to continue that here. So coming to the plate is Jake Tepley. Swinging and missing on the first pitch is Tepley. Plajek will move ahead. 0-1. Here's the delivery from Plajek. That's going to be high for ball 1. So 1-1 the count to Jake Tepley. And here's the pitch. Just inside for ball 2. It's now a 2-1 count for Jake Tepley. That one stays high for ball 3. 3-1 count for Mr. Tepley. Plajek readies. Here's the 3-1 delivery. That one's in there. And now the count runs full. Plajek with the full count delivery. Took a little bit of something off that, I think, and Tepley swings through it for out number 1. Plajek with another strikeout here. And that brings Logan Laniz to the plate. Blajek gets the signal. Here's the windup and the pitch. Low in the dirt for ball one. So 1-0 count for Laniz. And here's the pitch from Blajek. It is a low roller. Bounces by the shortstop Blotz. And reaching base easily is Laniz. So Braham will have a runner on first as Brennan Lee comes to the plate. One out. I was going to say nobody out, but there is an out due to a strikeout. One out, one on for the Bombers. Blajek will check on Laniz at first. He's back safely. But just saying, hey, I notice you. Blajek with the first pitch in there for strike one. 0-1 count for Brennan Lee. Now a 0-2 count as he swings and misses on that one. He'll look and get the signal from his coach, Laniz. Blajek will get ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Runner is moving, and the pitch is there for the strikeout as he swung through it. But the runner is into second safely. Logan Laniz will be at second with 2 down now. And now head coach Haas wants a word with the umpire. So we're back to play as Lucas Ashu at the plate swings through that one for strike one. Just wanted a quick ask of the umpire, and now back as the 0-1 count for Shu, and Blajek delivers the 0-1 pitch onto the shortstop Blotz. Oh, and it's going to get by the first baseman. Oh, an error will score a run. Laniz will be the run scored. And an error scores the first run of the game for Braham. I don't know if that's a 6 or 3. Either way, an error has a runner on second with 2 down. Alex Snedeker at the plate now for Braham. First pitch in there from Blajek is strike one. That's a tough play. That one was taking a tough bounce to Palmer and just couldn't quite scoop it. A slow swing through that one from Snedeker, and it's an 0-2 count now. Blajek feels confident. Snedeker looked like a half-hearted swing. Looked like he didn't quite want to go all the way through, but fortunately the momentum took him through, and he lays off that one, and it's a 1-2 count now. 2 down, runner on second, and a run did cross on the error. One-two pitch on the way. Strikeout. Ball was dropped, but the tag is on for out number 3. So the Bombers do get a run to cross on an error, but the Dragons still lead here going into the top of the third, 5-1. Don't forget, over on our other station tonight, 100.9 FM, you will be able to hear the Minnesota Twins taking on the LA Dodgers in Los Angeles tonight. First pitch comes out at 9:10 p.m. We will have a little bit of the pregame as well on 100.9 FM. So if you haven't had enough baseball today, go from high school baseball over to Pro Baseball on 100.9 FM. Again, that first pitch is set for 9:10 p.m. over on 100.9 FM. As we move to the top of the third inning here in Pine City of game number 2 of this doubleheader, Dragons lead 5-1. I think we'll keep it right here as looks like we're just about getting ready to get our batter to the plate. Leading off the top of the third inning will be Riley Cummings. Again, the 2-out bats got hot for Pine City in that second inning and got 2 more runs across. But Riley Cummings will look to start things off for Pine City. 2 5-inning games here in this doubleheader. First game, Pine City was victorious 3-1. They lead here in this one 5-1. Cummings will make his way to the batter's box, and Dalton Bankston gets set. Here's the windup and the pitch. Sweeping swing on that one from Cummings. Misses, and it's strike 1. 0-1 count for Cummings. And here's the pitch from Bankston. Swinging and missing on that one is Cummings, and Bankston ahead 0-2. Pitch is there, and strikeout from Riley Cummings as he swings and misses on that one for out number 1. Swings and misses at all 3, and that's frustrating for any batter. 1 down, nobody on, and Elliot Blotz to the plate. And he'll watch this one bounce and go to the backstop. Pretty easy one to lay off of. Bankston with the 1-0 pitch. Blotz gets a hold of that one, but it is fouled off down the first baseline. Just a little bit behind that one. If he's just a tick sooner, first baseman's going to have a hard play over there at first because that one probably crosses over first base for a fair ball. So it's a 1-1 count now. Bankston with the pitch. Outside for ball 2. 2-1 count now to Elliot Blotz. Again, yeah, if he's, just a smidge sooner on that last hit, it probably stays fair. And he's probably rounding first for an extra base. That one's high for ball 3. A 3-1 count now to Blotz. Three 3-1, and the pitch low, and Blotz will walk to first. And that brings to the plate Aiden Palmer. With 1 down and a runner on first, Aiden Palmer steps into the batter's box. Here's the pitch. Blotz is going down to second. The throw not in time. Blotz is just ahead of the throw. That was a pretty good jump, but a pretty good throw. Just 2 really good plays by 2 separate people. But Blotz is in there safely to second. So runner on second with 1 down. Palmer at the plate. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. I didn't see if that last pitch was a strike or not. I believe it was a ball, maybe not. I was trying to watch Blotz, see if he was safe. Here's the pitch from Bankston. He fouls it back. So it's either 1-2 or 0-2. 1-2. There we go. That's what I thought, but 1-2 count for Aiden Palmer. Runner on second, 1 down. Here's the pitch from Bankston. Swinging through it is Palmer, and Bankston will have his second strikeout here of this inning. 2 down, runner on at second, and it's Ethan Agard now to the plate. Bankston keeping an eye on the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Low ball 1. 1-0 count to Agard. And Bankston will fake a throw down to second. That was a little bit of an intense battle there. Bankston held on to it just a smidge longer than he normally does. Agard's going to pop this one up. This one's going to be a tough play for anybody, but Bankston going to hold on to it for out number 3. So Agard pops it up right to the pitcher, and the Bombers do not give up any runs after Blotz reached on a walk, and we'll move down to the bottom of inning number 3. Dragons lead here 5-1 over the Bombers here in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Dragons won the first game 3-1. They lead here 5-1. Looks like we'll grab a new pitcher for Pine City, and it looks like it is going to be Bryce Erickson. So Bryce Erickson will be the new pitcher for Pine City after Nick Plajic goes 2 innings, grab a couple of strikeouts again, then hands it over to Bryce Erickson. So while they wait the catcher and for him to get a few warm-up throws in, I want to take the time to remind you that if you want to tell our viewers about your business, well, we can help with that. Last year, our games were viewed nearly 100,000 times here on YouTube and countless more times heard on the radio. Of course, this gives you the opportunity to reach more customers without doing a lot of the work, and we are so glad to be able to represent your business as a sponsor here, and we love working with all of our sponsors. It has been nothing short of great working with any and all of our sponsors. So if you want to be a part of our sponsors, if you want to sponsor any of the sports broadcasts, you can contact our advertising team by emailing wcmp@q-mediagroup.com. That email again is wcmp@q-mediagroup.com. And while we await these couple warm-up pitches, we will take a short commercial break and hear word from those fine sponsors that I just mentioned. You're listening to Baseball on 106.5 FM AM 1350 WCMP.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Bottom of the third will be led off by Ben White for the Braham Bombers. He swings and fouls the first pitch back. It's an 0-1 count. Again, Bryce Erickson, the new pitcher for Pine City. Left-handed pitch is high for ball 1, so 1-1 now is the count. Here's the 1-1 delivery from Erickson. That one's going to bounce to Erickson, and the throw on to first is in time easily for out number 1. So 1 down for Braham, and that brings us to the top of the order with Eli Belden. Pitch is in there, but I believe it's just a bit wide for ball 1. Swinging and missing on that one, though, is Belden. Or strike 1. 1-1. Ooh, that was just inside for a ball. 2-1 is the count for Eli Belden. Erickson gets him to swing on that one, makes a little bit of contact, and count is even at 2-2. Took something off of that one and got him looking. Eli Belden will go down looking. And the first strikeout for Bryce Erickson. A little bit of an off-speed pitch there. Beautiful pitch from Erickson. And 2 down now for Braham, as stepping to the plate is Caleb Schusted. Here's the pitch from Erickson. It's going to be low. Ball 1. One 0 count. Here's the pitch from Erickson. High and outside for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Caleb Schusted. Bryce Erickson with the windup and the pitch. Swung on, and Schusted got a piece of that one. Fouls it back. Moves to a 2-1 count. Here's the 2-1. Outside for ball 3. A 3-1 count, and Blotz did a great job of nabbing that one. So it's a 3-1 count for Schusted, and Erickson with the delivery. Gets him to swing on that one. It's popped up to the third baseman. Haas is under it, grabs it for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down go the Braham Bombers. And we move to the top of inning number 4 here in Pine City, with the Dragons leading 5-1. It will be the Dragons' turn once again at the plate, and we'll see what they can do. But so far, so good. Even though they've given up 5 runs, it's been a pretty good outing here for the pitcher, Dalton Bankston. A couple of more strikeouts for him. See what they can do on defense and try and hold Pine City off the board again. And Pine City, both games, they've had plenty of opportunities to add more runs, but the pitchers and the defense have done a great job of holding Pine City off of the board anymore. Don't forget, over on WCMPradio.com, we've got a golf card. Not a cart, a card on sale. It is a nearly $200 value card, now $100. You can get it for $100, and you can get 18 holes and a cart at the 4 participating locations. Those are the Bull Rush Golf Course in Rush City, the Stones Throw Golf Course in Malacca, the Spring Brook Golf Course in Mora, and the Pine City Country Club. It is valid for a 18-hole round of golf with a cart, or valid for 2 9-hole rounds at the Pine City Country Club on the same day. This is brought to you by Bogies on Main in Hinckley. Thanks to them for helping us with this. Again, if you're looking for a discounted price on some golf, go to our website. Go to WCMPradio.com/deals to find this deal there. This is a great deal. I mean, 18 holes of golf for $100, plus you get a cart. Man, that's a slamming deal if you ask me. Nearly a $200 value. You can now go get it on our website for $100. And make sure you go over and get them, because there is only a limited amount on there. They do not, we don't just have an unlimited amount, sadly. There are only a limited number of those cards on our website. So be sure to get on over there. Again, that's wcmpradio.com/deals. And your $200 value for yours now, you can get it for $100. 18 holes of golf and a cart. Leading off the top of the fourth is Luke Wilson for Pine City. It's still Bankston out there on the mound for Braham. Here's the pitch. Oh, good eye there from Luke Wilson. That's a tough one to lay off. If at the letters, it's going to be called a ball. And the problem from my angle, I can't tell if it's just a tad outside or inside, so I do the best I can. If it's obvious inside, outside, that's easy to tell, but like when the catcher has to move inside, the batter has to move out of the box or has to dive to the opposite side to go get it. That's the obvious stuff, but when it's something like that, it's like, oh, is it high? Is it just outside? I don't know, but this next pitch is in there for a strike. Here's the 1-1 delivery. It's going to be popped up on the first base line and out of play. Now a 1-2 count here for Luke Wilson. And Dalton Bankston. Readies? Here's the windup and the pitch. In there for strike 3. A little bit low, but it just scraped the strike zone. And Wilson will go down looking for out number 1. Top of the order now, it's Mason Charles at the plate. And that one's going to be foul. Mason Charles, first pitch swinging. Fouls it off. Bankston with the 0-1 pitch. Low. And in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 count now to Charles. It's a swing on that one, popped up to shallow right center, and it's down for a hit. Center fielder Shu cannot get to it in time, and Charles is safe at first. So 1 out and 1 on here for Pine City, and that brings Bryce Erickson to the plate. Bankston. The runner on first. Nick Plajek stepping into the camera. First pitch is a ball, and the runner is into first safely. So Charles with another stolen base here today. Must be the luck of Nick Plajek. Plajek giving us some of his luck, stepping into the camera there. Erickson with a 1-0 count. 1 out. Here's the pitch. It's low for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Erickson. Only 1 out here for Pine City. Top of the fourth. They lead 5-1. This pitch from Bankston is in there for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Bryce Erickson. That one's high for ball 3. 3-1 count now for Bryce Erickson as Bankston ready's on the mound. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Inside, ball 4. So 1 down, runners at first and second, and stepping to the plate is Isaiah Haas. Haas with an opportunity to add more runs for Pine City. Here's the pitch from Bankston. It's going to be a wild pitch, and runners will advance to second and third. So a 1-0 count now for Isaiah Haas. Bankston readies with the 1-0. Here's the pitch. inside for ball 2. That one could not have been easy to lay off of, but Haas does, and it's a 2-0 count. That one's in there for strike number 1. Haas being patient up there. He will wait for his pitch, and when he gets it, he is going to drill it. Very patient batter. 2-1 the count for Haas. Bankston with the pitch. And Haas going to pop it up towards the first base line. Foul. So no one able to get there for Braham. Looked like the second baseman may have had a shot at it, but I think he was called off by the right fielder. I think if the second baseman, if he's a little more aggressive on that, I think he might have got it. So count moves even at 2-2 now for Isaiah Haas. 1 down, runners in scoring position. Here's the pitch from Bankston. Haas, a slow roller down the third base line, but it's foul. Haas will come back to the plate and do it again at 2-2. Beautiful day out here in Pine City. About 75, 76 degrees. I think we got close to 80. If not at 80. It's just a beautiful day. We got a little light breeze out there every once in a while. It's beautiful. And this one is hit hard through the infield. It gets by the third and shortstop, and it'll be thrown in for a 2-run single from Isaiah Haas. And Isaiah Haas, an RBI machine, adds 2 more to make it 7-1. So a 1-out, 2-run single for Isaiah Haas, and that will bring to the plate now Nick Plajek. Here's the pitch. High. 1-0 count for Nick Plajek. Again, only 1 down here for Pine City in the top of the 4th. It's going to be low for ball 2. Two-0 count now for Nick Plajek. Bankston. It's that one, and Plajek will foul it off. Two-one count. Plajek back in the box. Bankston readies. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 2, and Plajek with a great jump, or Haas, with a great jump. Into second, standing up, but now it's a 2-2 count here for Nick Plajek. Only 1 out. Here's the pitch. In there, and he got Nick Plajek down looking. So Bankston, another strikeout here. And coming to the plate now is Riley Cummings. Two down, runner on second. Pitch from Bankston. In there for strike 1. Cummings gets a hit on this one, out to center field. It gets by the center fielder, and Haas is going to walk his way home. And it's a double for Cummings. Don't know if that's going to be called an error or not. I don't assume so. Either way, it's an RBI double for Riley Cummings. Make it 8-1. 8-1 now. Pine City in the lead. Two down, runner on second. And it's Elliot Blotz at the plate. Blotz gets a hit on that one. That's going to drift into the left field, and the left fielder can't get it cleanly. So Cummings rounds third and gets to home plate easily, and it's now a 9-1 lead. Blotz with an RBI single, and an error sends him to second. So an RBI single for Blotz, but an error puts him at second base, and now it's Aiden Palmer at the plate. 2 down, 1 on. Palmer swings through that one. Bankston with a good comeback pitch there. And here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on and hit down the third base line, but foul. Got a hold of that one, did Palmer, but just a tad early. He lays back on that one. That one's into the outfield, scoring a run, and he's got extra bases. Here's the pitch from Bankston. Palmer swings and misses, and that will do it for the top of inning number 4. But the Dragons do cross 4 more runs to home plate, and they lead 9-1 as we move to the bottom of inning number 4. We're in game 2 of this doubleheader. Pine City won the first one 3-1. Now they lead game number 2 9-1. But Braham, they have shown their ability to get those bats swinging. They'll look to get them going here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And while we've got a little bit of time here, we'll take a moment to hear a word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to High School Baseball on WCMP.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
When you need an AC or furnace tune-up, Dale's Heating and Appliance is always clutch. Need financing on a new AC or furnace system? Dale's Heating and Appliance in Pine City is your closer. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Avoid costly repairs on your AC or heating system by getting a tune-up from Dale's Heating and Appliance. Dale's is your hometown cooling and heating expert, servicing Pine City and surrounding areas. Visit Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com today. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Name dropping. Huh, who does that anymore? John Deere, Toro, Gravely, Aaron's, all the top names are available and on site at Minnesota Equipment. Whether it's time to upgrade your zero-turn, walk-behind mower, or small utility tractor, the experienced team at Minnesota Equipment can put you in the machine that fits your needs. And the sale is just the start of the relationship at Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Back here in Pine City, we're at the bottom of the 4th inning where the Dragons lead over the Bombers 9-1. Dragons trying to win both games here in this doubleheader. Leading off, bottom of the 4th inning is going to be Dalton Bankston, the pitcher. Now, again, it's Bryce Erickson out there for the 4th inning. This one's in there for strike 1. He came out and pitched the 3rd inning, pitched a pretty good 3rd inning. He'll look to do the same here in the 4th. Try and Bankston with the swing, throw on to first, in plenty of time for out number 1. That one a hard hopper to the shortstop, but Blajic grabbed it easily, threw down to first for the first out. Jake Tepley now at the plate. Erickson's first one is called ball to Tepley. So 1-0 count. Was inside for ball 2. Now a 2-0 count. Erickson to Tepley, in there for strike number 1. 2 balls and a strike. Erickson readies. Here's the windup and the pitch. Low. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike for Jake Tepley. Erickson with the windup and the pitch. Low, ball 4. So Tepley will walk down to first. And coming to the plate is Logan Linez. And he'll work his way into the right-handed batter's box. He'll look down the third base line, get the word from Coach Linez, and set up against Erickson. Throw back over to first, but Tepley is well safe. Erickson gets the signal. Back to first. And that time, ooh, if Palmer is able to grab that one, that might have been the second out. Tepley got caught leaning a little bit far that time, and Erickson kind of froze him almost. But the first pitch to Linez is ball, and then the baseball gets away from the catcher, and so Tepley is going to take second anyways. So after almost being caught leaning, he'll have second base easily. Linez with a pop-up to the shortstop, and Tepley back to second in time. 2 down, runner on second. And now Brennan Lee to the plate. Brennan Lee into the right-handed batter's box. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Erickson ahead in the count now, 0-1. 2 out, runner on second for the Bombers here in the bottom of the 4th. Erickson with the pitch. That one's going to be swung on. Lee got a piece of it, but it's going to be fouled back out of play. That will push the count now, 0-2. Oh, 2 pitches on the way. Oh, low. So he struck out, but that ball did hit the dirt. The throw on to first, still in time for out number 3. So Braham gets a runner on, but are not able to do anything with it, and we will head to the top of the 5th inning with the Dragons leading 9-1. And Dragons hoping this will be the final inning here in this game. So we move to the top of the 5th inning. Dragons leading 9-1. And don't forget about that golf card that we have on our website over at wcmpradio.com/deals. It's a golf card valued at nearly $200. You can get it for $100. It comes with 18 holes of golf and a cart at Bulrush Golf Course in Rush City, Stones Throw Golf Course in Malacca, Springbrook Golf Course in Mora, and the Pine City Country Club. It's not valid for league or tournament play, and course rules apply, of course. It does expire at the end of the 2023 golf season, but you can get 18 holes of golf with a cart or 9-hole rounds. 2 9-hole rounds, there we go. 2 9-hole rounds at Pine City Country Club on the same day. And this is brought to you by Bogies on Main in Hinckley, so thank you to them. So there are only a limited amount on our website, so be sure to get on over there and grab yours for the 2023 season. Again, a $200 value. You can get it for $100. It's a great, great value, and get on over there and get yours. We do have a new pitcher out there. It's going to be Brennan Lee for Braham. He will be the new pitcher for the Bombers as the Dragons will get ready. Maybe looking to add some insurance runs. But again, I'm not an avid golfer myself, but every once in a while I like to go out, drive a couple balls and go play 9 holes. It's nice because me and my friends, we always go at a little bit of a slower pace because we're not pros by any means. Not even close. And a lot of times we'll have people who play a little bit faster than us just because they're that much better. And people are just so nice that, a lot of times we'll just tell them, hey, you can go ahead of us, and we'll just watch them and watch how what look like pros to us because we're so terrible. But again, it's around here, I think there's a bad rap that golf courses get that, you've got your people who are going to be trying to get ahead of you and they're standoffish or this and that. Well, I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of times, more times than not, if you open up communication with them, they'll be just fine. Of course, we live in a great area too, so we have awesome people. Ethan Agard leading off this top of the 5th inning. First pitch to him is outside for ball 1. Brennan Lee, 1-0 pitch is low for ball 2. So a 2-0 count for Ethan Agard. That one's in there for strike 1 from Brandon Lee. It's now a 2-1 count for Ethan Agard. Agard gets a piece of it. It's going to roll foul down the third base line. Draws the count even at 2-2. Two count. Brennan Lee with the delivery. Swing! And a miss from Ethan Agard. 1 down. Luke Wilson makes his way to the plate with 1 down. Here's the pitch from Brennan Lee. In there for strike 1. That one was a little bit low, and Luke Wilson thought it was as well, but it's in there for strike 1. That one is low for ball 1. 1-1 count now for Luke Wilson, as the order will turn over with the man on deck. It's Mason Charles. Brennan Lee, pitch, swung on, and it's going to be a low, slow roller to the pitcher. No. I think they're going to say it went off of Luke. Yeah, I think it went off of his foot. So it went off of Luke Wilson. Here's the pitch. Luke Wilson gets a piece of that one. It's a slow roller to the shortstop. Picked up, throw on a first in time. Round number 2. That one was slow enough to where I thought maybe Luke Wilson is going to have a chance, but the shortstop, man, what a throw over to first in time for out number 3. And now, top of the order is Mason Charles. Brennan Lee with the windup and the pitch. In there for strike 1. Mason Charles kind of shrugs it off, says, well, I don't know. 0-1 the count now for Mason Charles, and the Brennan Lee pitches, swung on and missed. Charles got a little bit antsy with that one, way ahead of that one, and I think that one was bouncing short of the plate. 0-2 for Mason Charles. Lee with the pitch. Charles gets a piece of that one out to center field, and that's a base hit. So a base hit there for Mason Charles will keep the inning alive. And now to the plate is Bryce Erickson. Outside, ball one. Erickson gets a piece of that one, fouls it back. It's a 1-1 count. Runner on first, 2 down. Pitch is swung on, and little looper out to right. It's down for a base hit, and that'll be extra bases. Rounding third, the run from first is home. Mason Charles scores from first, and an RBI double for Bryce Erickson. 10-1 now the Dragon lead. The Ladin Insurance run. Maybe another with Isaiah Haas coming to the plate. 2 down and a runner on second. That one's going to be hit right at the shortstop, and he'll throw it on to first in time for out number 3. So they're able to get Haas retired. And now we'll move to the bottom of the 5th inning. What could potentially be the final inning, unless the Bombers score 9. Now, the Bombers need 9 to continue this game. Or maybe it's a tie if they, I don't know. It's been so long since I've called a baseball game. But it's a 10-1 lead here for Pine City. And the Bombers down to their last 3 outs here in this doubleheader. Again, Pine City won the first game 3-1. They now lead here in the bottom of the 5th, 10-1. Looks like Bryce Erickson will be out there to try and finish this one off. Came out in the 3rd inning, so if he finishes this one, he will have pitched 3 innings. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Braham again down to the last 3 outs. Beautiful day for sports here on WCMP. It's been a gorgeous day out. Great day to get out and just be outside, whether you were at home or maybe you were here watching the game, or you maybe watched the first game, or maybe you watched this one, then went over to softball, and now we're watching this game online, or maybe you're just listening to this one outside, doing some yard work, or just basking in the glow of the sun and the beautiful weather we have here this spring. Whatever you're doing, I want to thank you for tuning in here today for this doubleheader. Appreciate it. Always appreciate when people tune in. But the Dragons will try and finish it up here. Bryce Erickson still on the mound, and at the plate now is Lucas Schuh. The pitch there from Erickson is swung on and missed. 0-1 now the count. Schuh will look down to head coach Laniz. Step back into the batter's box, and Erickson with the delivery. Schuh gets a piece of this one. It will be fouled out of play. Now it's an 0-2 count for Schuh. Erickson with the left-handed pitch. Took something off, but that one's inside for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Lucas Schuh. Schuh will pop this one up. And, the second baseman gets there. That's Luke Wilson who gets there and holds on to it for the out. One down, and it's Alex Snedeker at the plate. That one's going to bounce past the catcher. So Snedeker deals with a 1-0 count. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be low for ball 2. Here's the 2-0 left-handed delivery. Swung on, and this one is down for a base hit to left field. Snedeker, he's rounding first, gunning for 2. And he will be into second with a stand-up double. So a one-out double there for Alex Snedeker. And Bombers have some life. Here's Ben White at the plate. One down, runner on. Erickson with the pitch. That's in there for strike 1. Nice hit there from Alex Snedeker into the left field area. He was able to round first and get into second standing. Erickson with the left-handed pitch. Low. For ball 2. 2-1 count to Ben White. And here's the pitch. Took a little something off that one as he gets Ben White to swing through. It's even at 2-2. One down, runner on second for the Bombers. Ben White has a 2-2 count. Bryce Erickson delivers. Ooh, that's high, just high for ball 3. Runs the count full. Here's the full count pitch. Ben White gets a piece of it. It's going to slow roll to the second baseman. Throw on to first. In time for out number 2. Runner advances to third, and we're down to the final out for the Bombers as Eli Belden comes to the plate. Got a runner on third, trying to extend the game. Erickson delivers. Belden will smash this one into center field. That's going to score a run, an RBI single for the Bombers. And it's 10-2. So the Bombers keep themselves alive. An RBI knock there from Eli Belden. And now it's Caleb Schusted at the plate. Just high for ball 1. So a clutch hit there from Eli Belden. And now Caleb Schusted looking for another one. Here's the 1-0 pitch. In there for strike 1. And it's a 1-1 count. Erickson with the left-handed 1-1 delivery. He'll throw over to first, but oh no, that's going to get by him. Does not roll far enough for Belden to try for second base. He'll stay at first. Erickson with the pitch. Runs a little bit high for ball 2. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just outside. 3-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. A full count now for Caleb Schusted. And the Bombers down to their final strike. Erickson with the pitch. in there for strike 3, and that will put him down looking, and the Dragons win game number 2, 10-2, and will take this doubleheader over the Bombers. It's another conference win and another win on the schedule here for Pine City, who now moves to 12-2 on the season. Or is it 12-3? We'll have to take a look. I get too confused sometimes. But the Dragons get another victory here today. 2 more here today. They win the first game 3-1 and the second game 10-2. And the Dragons now move to 12-2 on the season. The Braham Bombers fall to 2-10. We will take just a quick commercial break. Hear a word from our fine sponsors. Then when we come back, we will recap this one and get on out of here. You've been listening to Baseball on WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
So again, the Dragons take both games of this doubleheader. Take game 1 3-1, and this one 10-2. Pitching was really good, actually, despite the Bombers giving up 10 runs here in this second game. And they also had a good first game as well, holding the Dragons to 3 runs. So it wasn't a bad outing for the pitchers. I mean, of course, you don't want to give up that many runs, but you'd like to see the bats get a little bit more hot. There were some spots where you thought, man, Braham might start to break through, but Pine City's pitching was on their game here, and Pine City takes both games and gets the victory here in game number 2, 10-2. So the Dragons now 12-2 on the season. Bombers 2-10. And both of these teams will look forward here. Again, for both of these teams, their schedules, there we go, will come to a close here pretty quickly as it wraps up here. Not next week, but the week after that, with the playoffs starting. And as we take a look at the schedules here for both of these teams, looks like for Braham, they'll have another baseball game on Friday up in Onamia against the Mille Lacs Raiders. So they will have a game up in Mille Lacs on Thursday against the Raider, or up in Onamia against the Mille Lacs Raiders. And then for Pine City, looking at their schedule, looks like they won't have anything on Thursday or Friday. Looks like their week ends here on Saturday, as they'll travel to Delano for a baseball tournament. Looks like they're going to have quite a few teams there. Looks like it is a wood bat tournament as well. The first game's on May 18th, potentially. Let's see. Looks like they may have moved it to Saturday, May 20th. We'll keep you up to date on that. Of course, we'll have all the details from that, because you can tune in to find all the latest scores and updates at our morning shows over on 95.5 FM KBEK with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30, and over on 100.9 FM at 7:45 and 8:45 with Joshua Miron. That's when and where you can hear your sports updates. We'll have stats and scores from around our local listening area, as well as some regional sports as well. And also on our website and our Facebook page, you can see some sports update and articles from games we have done. So great spots to keep updated. Well, not just sports, but news as well. So keep up to date there, as the Dragons get the victory in Game 1, 3-1, and in Game 2, 10-2 here as they take the doubleheader against Braham. Braham will play against the Mille Lacs Raiders up in Onamia on Thursday. Pine City looks like they'll wait till Saturday to play in Delano in a tournament down there. So again, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thanks so much for tuning in. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to these guys out here playing this game, for you to tune in. And of course, it means that, we have people watching, and we should keep coming out here and doing these games. Appreciate it so much. And I want to thank all the fine sponsors for sponsoring this broadcast. Without them, we wouldn't be able to come out here Thanks so much to them. And also, don't forget, if you're a business and you want to tell other viewers, our viewers, about your business, well, of course, we can help, because last year, our games were viewed nearly 100,000 times on YouTube. This gives you the opportunity to reach more customers without doing a lot of work. You can contact our advertising team by emailing wcmp@q-mediagroup.com. That, again, is wcmp@q-mediagroup.com. So, again, the final here, Pine City takes Game 1 3-1 and Game 2 10-2. For WCMP, I, of course, am Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much again for tuning in. Remember to be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could truly make their day. Once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks to all the fine sponsors. Remember, have a great rest of your night. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman for WCMP.